Welcome back, everyone. So today I have the fifth guest on my podcast, someone that's been very controversial, even recently, maybe even more controversial than XV. But I think it's all with the right intentions. I'd like everyone to meet Omar. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. Always saying that's you, right?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. So just a little bit of an introduction. I know Omar. Well, I met him through Twitter first, and now he's my mentor. He's been my mentor for a while. Probably the best educator that I know in the whole scene. I've learned a lot of him, or a lot to him. But I'd like to ask you, how did you get into trading, bro? How did it all start for you?
Bro, you know what? It's so funny, yeah, because basically, so in
Yeah,
my school, all the elders, right, we were talking about Bitcoin and whatnot, right?
mm,
This was like times, I think Bitcoin must have went to like 2K at this time, yeah. So then
yeah,
everyone started, trying to dabble with Bitcoin and trading, and some guys were trading Forex, some guys were even trading. I think some people even tried in binary options back then, innit?
yeah, yeah,
So then I made a little, you know what trading 212 is?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I used to use that.
I made a trading 212 account and I was literally just I did not know what I was doing, bro. I was just slapping. I didn't even know if I was placing trades. All I know was I was just on the homepage of it, yeah. And then that was in like the start of year 12. And then I kind of left it because of studies and whatnot. I took my A levels quite serious. And then I took a gap year in my, um, the transition from year 13 to university.
Yeah,
I took a gap year, yeah. And then what happened was, bro, no word of a lie, yeah. It was, like, there was a guy back then, like how we got Greg Secker now on the YouTube ads.
yeah, yeah,
I forgot who it was back then, yeah, but it was literally a trading ad. It was a trading ad, bro. You know them crappy like join my seminar type
yeah.
things because I was at home, yeah, and I was thinking like, you know what, man, I need to make some bread in it.
Mm, mm,
And then I watched the ad and I was thinking, like, okay, I'm just seeing this high, low, high, low. If it goes in close to the high again, just sell it. If it goes close to the low again, buy it. Traditional support resistance type theory, yeah.
yeah,
And then from there, I was watching some YouTubers. It's so crazy, yeah, because like 3 years ago, which this was nearly 4 years ago, you see like Swag Academy, like Mamba FX wasn't even he didn't even have a channel when I was learning it.
yeah,
Like I would smart money concepts as well was like, bro, I don't think it was even on there yet. Like how it is now, it wasn't
yeah.
like that before. Like there was nothing, it was all retail stuff. So then I start watching that, like Swag Academy, bro.
Mm,
I
mm.
remember this guy, right? This guy, he used to have like 80 subscribers. I was probably his like 30th subscriber or something. And do you know how many followers he has now?
What? Probably has
He,
bears, man.
yeah, he's probably the biggest guy on YouTube in Forex. If you ask anyone about trading, like any newcomer, they'll probably be like, I watch Swaggy, they call him Swaggy C, innit? And then
Yeah,
from there, so I was trading everything, man. I was like a strategy hopper. I was trading RSI, I was trading support resistance. Have you heard of Elliott Waves?
yeah, yeah, bro. That was one of the first things I
Bro,
started with. I got videos on Elliot Wave on my channel. I used to think it was
oh my
it.
days. Do you know what I done? So me
Mm,
and my boys, I joined trading with a few of my guys, and they didn't really stay on. Like they just started doing other things. I think they got too caught up with uni, whatever. I'm still friends with them though. So we were like hardcore Elliott Waves guys at the start, yeah. And then we were thinking we had this little conspiracy thing saying if we could just go to the start of the market and do the Elliott Wave, we'll always know what wave we're in, innit?
yeah,
Yeah. And then we tried to do that, and then we thought we're gonna be in some mad impulsive wave three, yeah. Because sometimes it's like you can be in a wave three within a wave three,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and we thought, yeah, let's just go long. But we did it like no entry, nothing. We just went long,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And I remember we all got clapped. And when you get clapped, when you're a newbie, when you get clapped with one method, what do you do? You go and try another one and
Next
another
one.
one. When I found, when I found RSI divergence, yeah, I
Yeah,
was like, nah, I've hit the belly. Imagine, yeah, I was thinking like, oh my days, like this is because it looks cool, isn't it? Something looks cool and it looks a bit techy. You think,
yeah,
yeah, this is it. Like I found it. Like it's so techy that it must be true type thing, yeah. And I was
yeah.
like, oh, this is gonna be a secret. I'm never gonna tell anyone this. But the YouTube video that I learned it off had like 500,000 views, so 500,000 people already know about it.
Mm,
And then from there, I was just getting, bro. I went through like a rough patch, yeah, because I lost like I think I lost 5 figures trading in it. So I put in like 3K and I was risky. Like it was a lucky run. I flipped it to like 15 bags and then I lost it all in one trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this was like I was like just turned 18 and I lost it all. And then, bro, I nearly quit then, I'll be real. Like I really nearly quit then. I didn't even have training in my mind then like for like 3 months, yeah, I quit. And then I came across ICT
Mm.
and this guy, right? So me, I've always been like into like math, science, those type of things and like logical approaches to everything. Always try to be as objective as you can. And you see
Mm.
ICT's approach, yeah, it just sat well with me because he has that same approach. He always says, like treat it like it's a science and I say that a lot now, like that's not my line. If people think that's my line, that's not my line, that's ICT's line. He
Mm.
says approach the charts like you're like it's a scientific method, right?
Yeah.
And then from then, bro, it's like everything just made sense. Of course I went through the content, whatever. I went through it for like, bro, like 5 hours minimum a day. I would be going ham. Like I wouldn't do anything. Like even my mom, like my parents, they didn't know what I was doing because these times they know I'm not in uni because I'm in a gap here. So they're thinking, what can he be studying if he's not in uni? Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And then I just had to like, make up lies, whatever, saying I'm just learning like some other like coding and whatnot. And
Mm.
then yeah, bro, like now I'm where I am now, innit?
Yeah, yeah. No, that's so that journey, it's kind of similar to mine. I guess mine was a little bit more like compact. But even one of the things you said about indicators and stuff, when it looks complex, people feed into that. So one of the first like complex indicators I looked at was Ichimoku, if you know that. You know Ichimoku
Yeah,
clouds.
the cloud, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But when I got that, I thought I cracked it, bro. But all it is really, a lot of these indicators are different indicators repackaged because Ichimoku is essentially just like moving averages put together, but
Yeah,
just
yeah,
shown in a
yeah.
bit of a fancy way. So it's like, when
Have
I
you ever heard
started,
of the super trend?
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's,
That was the better. That's the best indicator, man. If you're gonna use an indicator, flipping use a super trend. It just looks funny on your chart.
yeah, it's mad. Like, at one point, I used to, like, imagine I used to have a trading view account and then I'd open another screen just so I could have like five indicators on at the same time. I had a list of like RSI, MACD, like literally everything on my charts at the same time, different like moving average configurations and stuff. Like, but it's true because now I'm learning like ICT and stuff, having that kind of like logical approach to stuff, it just makes so much more sense because with indicators, even now, it's a lot of like guesswork. It's saying, oh, if this, I don't know, moving average cross happens, this happens, that you get like there's no kind of purpose behind some of these indicators. It's more like you're
Exactly,
just betting on
exactly.
something happening.
And the thing, especially with like RSI, yeah, you can be oversold in one time frame, and you can be equilibrium on another time frame. Do you know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like it's so subjective, and depending on what the settings are for the indicator, you get different outcomes.
Yeah, yeah.
Like when you really deep it, yeah, the indicator stuff. And I'll be real, why a lot of people like to go into that form of trading, and I don't have nothing against it, right? And we can touch on this as well. Retail trading, I don't have nothing against it. And retail trading methods per se, yeah, the trading, like actual trading methods, so like
Mm.
patterns and things like that, that isn't the main reason why retail traders lose the majority of money. It's more so the retail mindset. Like, bro, when you first started trading, yeah, what did you think? You think you can cream it in one day, one
Yeah,
night?
yeah.
Actually, tell a lie. That's not even true. You actually, this is how it starts. Everyone starts off managing risk well, because what did the videos tell you? Manage risk well. Da, 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 da. But then when you're managing risk well on a little £100 account, losing 0.01, how boring is that?
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And then what happens? You start to increase that lot size. Your heart starts pumping. The devil starts whispering in your ear. Start, using one lot on £100 account, which is what I done. I lost my first account. Yeah, I
yeah. Mm.
remember it was like 2 a.m. in the night. Yeah, I think I had £100 in that account,
Yeah.
and I traded 0.7 lots. Yeah, on gold.
Okay,
Zero
no.
point 0.7 lots on gold. Yeah, at 2 a.m. And I remember. Yeah, as soon as I pressed the trade, yeah, the buy button,
Yeah.
I got an email from IC Markets with a margin call in it. Like as soon as I pressed the button, yeah, I got margin called, and then I just got liquidated. I was like, fucking hell.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
sad.
that's when I realized like this game is not a joke, innit? Like that's when I first realized. But the thing is, I really didn't even learn then because then I went on to take that big fat loss with the 15K in it. It's crazy,
Mm-hmm.
man.
You need those though. You definitely need to take a few L's to
If
like
if
learn from
if
these things.
if do you know what? I'll be real, yeah. If I didn't take those L's, I would not be where I am firstly, and I probably would have been someone that's not as well knowledge as I am now, and I
Yeah.
probably would be extorting people with a premium,
Mm-hmm.
charging them to learn about RSI divergence or something.
Yeah, it's like I tell some of my boys, right? So a lot of people took L's in crypto because, of course, the market went to shit back in November, December time. So
Yeah.
now I've been telling a lot of them, come on to Forex. Like, look at this funded stuff. Because the way I told them, just look, cool, you lost, I don't know, let's say 5K, 6K, whatever. Take 2, 3, 4, even 5 months, but focus learning and learn how to trade Forex, get a funded account. You can make back everything you lost and more in a week. You're not even going to remember what you lost once you're actually there.
100, 1,000,000%,
Yeah.
1,000,000%. Listen, you know people that they so bro, funding, yeah.
Mm.
You'll be so surprised about funding. And you know some people what they do, bro, what's come to my attention. You know some people like say that they're funded in it by like MFF or something.
Yeah.
But you know what they do, bro? They buy these some I think they're like premium owners as well or whatever. Or they're people that try to pull the wool over the people's eyes in it. They're dishonest people. They buy the accelerated accounts and they act like it's a funded evaluation account. Because they're two different things. With the accelerated account, do you know the difference, bro?
No, 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 I don't even know.
So I think it's the accelerated or the rapid, bro. You just pay for the account and they'll give you it. The profit splits are like 50-50 though.
Yeah, yeah,
But the evaluation, right? That's the one you got to pass the phase one and phase two. Like it actually shows that someone can trade and manage risk in it.
yeah. And you
Yeah,
get better cuts then, so it's more
and
rewarding.
that's why you get the better cuts because you're more trustworthy, isn't it? So
Mm.
some people, bro, they buy rapid and accelerated, and then they act like they're, you know what I'm saying? Like they pass the phase one, phase two, and they show it off and stuff. And even saying, yeah, bro, you know what? Someone can have a lucky run of passing a funding, yeah. But you know what the stats are on MFF? I think it's like most people that pass the funding stages, right? They don't even make it to the first payout.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like I don't know the statistic off my head, but if you look on MFF, yeah, I think it was on their Instagram or whatever.
Mm.
Most people that pass stage one or stage two of the evaluation, yeah, they don't even make it to the first payout. They just have maybe like a quote unquote lucky run with the phase one or phase two, and then they can't make it to the first payout. But
You
you'll
know,
never hear the story of them not making it to the payout, bro.
yeah, yeah. I get you. Do you know what it is? Sometimes I don't even think it's a lucky run. I do think there's genuinely good or even like decent traders because to be honest, like the figures they're talking, if you if you're systematic with it, it's not essentially a hard amount to make, but it's just the psychology gets to people. Like good
100%.
traders get broken down by, the time limit. You got to do this, and then that's just like the kind of fear behind it. But then there's, once they're live, there's that excitement, like, I just hit this trade. This is actually my money, and then they're trying to just kind of
Awesome.
rinse the market, yeah, as much as they
Yeah.
can. They're trying to milk it, but it is again like that same point I was saying to my boys, just take a couple months and do this. Even me, like, it's a bit hypocritical, but everyone kind of has that short-term vision initially, and it's hard to like put yourself in that like mindset to think, oh, let me think a year from now and so forth. Like one of the first things in your mentorship you said was something about timing. I forgot the quote now. But as in, like just kind of take your time with stuff. Don't
Oh,
rush.
what are you trying to trade for a day, a week, a month, for a year, or a lifetime? Was it that one?
Yeah. So like, that idea of like sustainability, and a lot of guys want the money tomorrow, but it's kind of the idea. If you just take your time, and a year from now, you could be in a place where, everything you've done in a year, like working towards that, it will make sense. But if you keep being dumb, I think everyone does need to be a bit stupid when you come into these markets. You do have to like, make a few mistakes.
100%, bro. And you know what is it? You know, trading, the psychological aspect of it, bro, is literally about, yeah, how disciplined can you say? Because when you're disciplined and you're only following your strategy, bro, it's very boring. Like there's no and that's how it
Yeah,
should be. And I don't say boring as in like boring as in you don't like to do it, but I'm saying that it's just a kind of rinse and repeat process, yeah.
yeah,
And the thing you've got to stay away from as a trader is everyone gets that urge to spice up a bit. Do you know what I'm saying? Like take a bit
yeah,
more risk, bro. Enter here in it. Just try something new.
mm,
You should never be trying something new ever, right? What you learned on the demo, what showed you success on a demo account, you just do that on a live account for the rest of your life.
yeah,
It's like that. The thing is, everyone has a good run until they try to spice it up a bit and they take that shitty trade. It's just
yeah,
an inevitable process, yeah. Discipline, discipline, discipline. Take a shitty trade out of excitement, get slapped on it, and then go back to basics. And then it's just a never ending process, bro. Until you can remove that taking a shitty trade
yeah,
part, you won't really see true success, bro.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
a lot of people, right? And I say this all the time. You need to know, yeah, the better traders, they know when not to engage, and then as well as saying that, they know when to engage with risk. They know when to put their foot down on the pedal. Do you know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, definitely. Do you know what it is? Is like I think people struggle with that consistency. Again, it's just the same point over and over. But people want short term like gratification. They just want everything now. But things aren't like that. But if you are calculated about whatever, you can make so much progress in a, like, let's say, medium amount of time. It's actually like unbelievable. But people won't take it.
Yeah, go on.
I was just gonna say, like, even me, I think, like, now I'm kind of established in the space, I could say. But I've only been around for like 4 months. But all I've done is consistently push out content, consistently do something. And it's not even been massive amounts. Sometimes I feel like I'm still lazy. Like, I don't do a lot. But then
I had
sometimes I
this.
think, like,
I
yeah,
had the same You go to the gym,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and there's another guy in our group, and he goes to the gym, and he's pretty huge as well, yeah. And I had this conversation about progression with him. Progression, you don't realize progression on a day-to-day basis. Progression, you look back after a month and saying, I've actually come up some way. Like if you go to the gym, you don't see the process every single day. Like you don't see the improvements every single day.
yeah,
You look back after 3 months and you look a bit bigger. You look a bit more lean. Do you know what I'm saying? You've lost a lot of weight. Whatever your goal is, you don't see it day to day to day, right? Because the changes are so insignificant on a day-to-day basis. You won't see it. It's about looking 3 months after. And when I came into the space, yeah, it was a bit controversial the way I came in, but I came in,
yeah,
and I was telling everyone, I'll show you what 1% a day does. I was
yeah,
telling people 1%, 2%. You can take your 5R, take your 6R. Because the thing is, I know how many trades you're losing trying to chase your big R.
yeah.
The thing is, that big R is meaningless, right? If it's just to make up all your losses. What's the point in it? There's no point in taking your 8R if it's just to make up for the 8% you've lost trying to chase that 8R, right?
Yeah,
And when I remember, bro, I have the thread in my head here. I think it's deleted now. And I was like, you want to see what 1% a day does? And people were laughing at me. People were laughing at me in the comment section, bro. And all I done was 1%, 1%, 1%. And if you're just doing the 1%, 1%, 1%, guess what? There's 5 trading days a week. Let's say you get 3%. Yeah, you trade 3 days in that week and you get 3%. Yeah. Times that by 4, that's 12%. Let's say you're on 100K funded. That's 12,000. Yeah. But after the profit split, you're probably going home with around 7.5K from 1%.
yeah, that's
People
crazy.
don't see it like that though. And then when you get a bit better, go for the little 1.5%, go for the 2%.
Yeah, yeah,
Just gradually build on it. The thing is, right, people try, like, I compare it to a swimmer a lot because a friend, he gave me this analogy of the swimmer, yeah. When swimmers start to swim competitively or you start to learn how to swim, you don't just start swimming 10 lengths of the pool. They swim 1 length and they get better at swimming 1 length. And all they do is they have to just gain the stamina to swim 2 lengths. It's based 2 lengths is just 1 length of the pool twice in a row. Nothing's different. You're not going to swim the second length different to the first length. That's like trading, bro. Get comfortable. Get 10 pips. Try go for 10 pips a week. When you get comfortable, try go for a bit more. These guys, yeah, I'm just going to drop a little something in here. They're going for, let's do a bit of maths, yeah. They're going for these 10R trades a day, yeah. Let's say the average daily range on Euro USD is 95 pips.
Yeah.
Yeah. And your stop loss is, let's say your stop loss is 12 pips. So the 10R is 120 pips. Bro, there's not enough range in the day to get your flipping 10R.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the range, if you're going for 20 pips, you can get in many places within that daily range and capture 20 pips. But they don't see it like that. And it all comes down, every like misunderstanding, yeah, and mistake comes down to a lack of education.
Yeah.
That's the facts.
And do you know what it is sometimes, yeah? There's definitely a lack of like education, but sometimes it does turn into ignorance. A lot of people don't want to be taught or kind of change what they're doing as well. So it's a bit annoying, like seeing guys not take the stuff in. One big thing is when you came onto the scene and whatever you're on Twitter is controversial, you're saying this 1% stuff. Another big reason people don't take it in, most of the people doing crypto, right? So if you're trying to tell these man, because they're not seeing it from a forex perspective, right? And they're not seeing it as, oh, if you're max funded and you make 1%, how much is that? they're just thinking crypto where everyone's making 200%, 300% trades. But even that is just a lack of education, because a lot of people don't understand the difference between the margin you're delegating to one trade versus, your whole portfolio, which is what we use
They
in.
don't say that.
Yeah. And even the ones that do, they still don't realize, because a lot of people just full port. Like, I've been there. I used to full port trade. I used to have, like, I don't know, let's say like a rack in my futures account. I was putting the whole thing in, like, every single time. And even then, I wasn't happy with 10% or like 20% or whatever. I wanted 100 every single time. Like, I was saying this on my podcast with Issy. I used to do a bit of spot trading. I used to have coins go up to 70% and I wouldn't cash. I'd just wait for that 100. Like these markets make people so numb to the amount of money you're making.
Can you take partials on crypto?
Yeah. You can take partials, and I never done that ever. But at least not back then. And then, like, now looking back, now understanding how all of these things work, I just think if I could go back, literally, I was in Altcoin Preachers group chat, and on a regular basis, every single week in crypto, he was busting at least, I'd say, minimum like 30% moves, bare minimum, every single week a coin he would give. But back then, of course, we're in a bull run, so everything's just moving as well. But like, going back now, if I even cut my profit at every 20% or something and just rinse that week in, week out, I would have been rich. And that's what I think now. Now I've become a lot more laid back. And another thing for me personally is, like, of course, you're my mentor, and I see other guys catch those high RR trades, but I used to kind of just, like, of course, you came in, you're like, okay, 1-to-1, 1-to-2, 1-to-3, like, just small trades. But I wasn't taking it in. I was thinking, okay, cool. Like, in my head, the kind of thought process was, this is like your style. If there's guys doing 1-to-20, 1-to-30, why don't I just, learn like that, or try to do that instead?
But these guys, right? They're catching the 1-to-20, right? Because the thing is, right? I've in my free channel, I've done the live videos of me. There's like uncut sessions of me, and you can see it. They're long videos if you want to watch the whole trading, because I don't want to cut it and show. Because then if I cut it, people could be like, oh, but you're just cherry picking whatever. I put the position there. I even show how close I get to the stop loss. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I do is I show you the entry and the exit on the MT4 that matches exactly with the profit, the short long position.
Yeah.
These guys catching these mad odds, yeah, I've never seen someone post a profit for it ever. The thing is, yeah, and they use evil eye as the excuse in it, which is, I agree with that, but I only agree with it if, why are you showing the chart with a mad odd, and like people can't do mental calculations from that and kind of get a rough estimate of how much you made off the trade. It makes no sense. Like, there's a mad taboo around showing these profits, yeah. But the thing is, if you're catching these crazy R's, yeah, like, bro, like, if I done 10 R, I'll be done for like a month. I wouldn't even touch the trade. I wouldn't even touch my chart. I'll be enjoying my life. I'll be doing, you know what I'm saying? I'll be doing other things other than trading. But these guys doing the crazy R's, yeah, is so, and you know what, the people that the shoe fits for this, they might say, well, it doesn't matter if I don't take it on life, but it does. Do you know why? Yeah, because when you're in the trade, psychology is real, right? You might close that trade early. You might not feel okay taking it with real money. When there's real money on the line, it's a big deal. It's a very big deal. And I always compare it to, like, like these boxers, yeah, especially these YouTube boxers. Like the whole YouTube boxing thing now, yeah, that's going on with all these YouTubers. How many of them look good on the punching bag and on the pads? They all look like professionals, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Like in the videos and stuff, they look sick, and then when they start actually fighting, yeah.
And when they're fighting, bro, they look like they're like what they are, innit? YouTubers, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? They're not professional boxers. It's the same thing with the trading scene, bro. When it comes to the actual live executions and stuff, it matters. It matters so much.
Yeah, definitely. Do you know what it is, yeah? Another big thing coming from this, there's definitely profitable high R traders. I know people
100%. I know some as well. 100%. There is.
But the biggest point here is, right, like, what people need to realize, that most of these high RR traders have either put in insane amounts of hours perfecting what they specifically do, or they just generally have long trading experience. Like, it's come like I'm giving my man a shout out every episode now, yeah. But recently, 36 ads, he put out a free signal. He put out a signal that done 1-to-32 in his journal, and like I saw it live, and I know people that took it, right? So people have made money off that. And that, of course, the whole trade's documented, so no one can draw him out. But what guys got to remember, yeah, he's been trading 4 years, right? A lot of people might not know that. If my man's been trading, so for like this many years, been doing this, that, like you got to remember, there's a reason they can take these type of trades or like at least work with these specific models and strategies. So when
That's
there's new
facts.
people coming into the space, as you're saying, the 1-to-1, the 1-to-2, learn like literally
Learn that,
everything
yes,
you said.
because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for you to compare someone that's got more experience on you. Because you
Yeah.
know what? You'll never feel good about yourself like that. It'll
Mm-hmm.
like mentally it'll be draining. Yeah, like, and that's why I tell people, yeah, stay off social media. Because there's so much crap on there. You're gonna see guys, yeah. You're gonna see I'm not saying everyone is like everyone that is catching mad odds is a liar. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying you have to take it with a pinch of salt. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
If you're a new trader and you're seeing all these unrealistic expectations, it's the same thing with the gym and body perceptions and stuff like that. It's just there's so many unrealistic expectations. Yeah? And it's the same thing with every single industry because there's people you got to realize they're selling courses. Whose course are you gonna buy? The guy that's making the most money. So they're gonna try to push money in your face, push these big trades in your face. That's what they're gonna do. And don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. What you want to do is, in my opinion, stay off social media as much as you can because without even knowing it, yeah, you see the subconscious mind. We're not always aware of what the subconscious does, but over time, the subconscious it takes control of you.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Every single time you're seeing these like crazy odd trades, whatever, when you get on the chart, you're just gonna have a flashback and feel like, yeah, let me just try to go for what that guy done, and you might not be able to replicate it.
Yeah,
And then what? You're gonna try. That's when it comes to jumping from one method to another method to another method to another method to another method. It's the endless cycle.
yeah, yeah, definitely. And do you know what it is as well? Like it works both ways. Like people, like even me. So recently, I told you I hit a good milestone in my trading for the first time ever. So I'm there.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm there. Like, do you get like I had the best day that day because literally felt like my life changing in one day, sort of thing. You know, when you're seeing the blue on your MetaTrader,
it's
it kind
nice.
of puts you in good. Yeah, it puts you in a good mood. But I think one of the important things is kind of detaching from that as well because like if you like you said, you have to be objective. It's more you need to focus on the execution rather than the outcome. It's just like, see your model and do it. Because fair enough, let's say you hit your profit target, but you see your model lined up again and all your criteria are met and everything, why wouldn't you take the trade, right? Even that
Yeah,
sort of psychology, I feel like it does work both ways. Sometimes people hold themselves back and then sometimes people do too much, especially revenge trading, them sort of things. So it's very complicated, but I think it's a journey that everyone kind of has to go through for themselves and then figure out. That's why I think a lot of people struggle to grasp with trading. Just like you said, you can't look at other people. If you go to the gym, do you look at, well, of course, when you start, you probably do. But once you've been going gym for a while, you learn. Like, there's no point looking at next man because
yeah,
you,
because it's
you
your
don't even know
own,
what
and
he's
there's
taking.
and you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna say something. So like, it's not controversial, but this is the honest truth. Yeah, and this
Yeah,
is anything in life, bro. Some people are just smarter than others. Some people are gonna get things faster than others, right? If you take a room of five, let's say you take a decent sample size of 100 people, yeah,
yeah,
mixed education levels, whatever, yeah, IQ levels, whatever, bro. The people that are smart are gonna learn faster.
yeah,
And this is where it comes being real with yourself. Yeah, are you someone that excels in learning, or are you someone that you need a bit more time in learning things? Like someone that excels in learning, right? They're 100%. They're gonna probably learn faster than you, right?
yeah,
Doesn't mean that you can both get to the same stage. It's just he might get there faster and you might get there slower. But then once you're both at a certain stage, right?
mm,
It's like this, yeah. You got two students going from like you got two students that are getting D's right now, yeah.
yeah,
And then the guy that's getting a D, one of them is very smart and he starts to start revising. He's gonna go to get an A fast, right? He's gonna go get the A fast. But the guy that's, you know, quote unquote dumber, he's gonna have to put so much more work in and he's gonna get to that A much slower. But once you're at that stage of both being an A student, there's only so much more room for that guy that's way smarter to progress. Because the progression line it decreases over time. Do you know what I'm saying?
mm, mm,
Because it's like this, yeah. When you're in the gym, when you
yeah,
max out your newbie gains and you start training for the first bit of progress you see in the first 2 years compared to the last 3 years of your training, bro, it's minimal. You don't make that much progress after you've been lifting for 10 years because you're close to your genetic limit. Do you know what I'm saying?
mm, mm,
It's the
mm,
same thing. It's the same thing with everything, bro. People you'll learn so much, yeah. Some people will learn it faster and then they'll reach their limit faster as well. Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But that person, yeah, if you're that person that you need more time, don't be disheartened. Don't be
Yeah.
disheartened. Take the time, bro. Take 1 year, 2 year, and it's, do you know what? I'll be real with you. 2 years of hardcore dedication, yeah. That shit, that is get rich quick, bro. Don't tell me 2 years in the grand scheme of your life is not a short period of time. That is nothing, bro. How fast does 2 years go? I'm 20 now. I can remember so many memories there from year 7, year 8, year 9, year 10. These things were like what 5, 6 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like it's gone in the blink of an eye, isn't it? 2 years
Yeah.
is not a long time, especially if you're that guy, yeah. If you're that guy that thinks, and I was this guy, I promise you, bro. Maybe I've always had a bit of arrogance to me, yeah.
Mm.
I admit that, a bit of ego, yeah. Into terms of, I thought that I'm smarter than a lot of people, and I think that I can just do it on my own. That is the worst thing you can do, bro. Do you know why? Having someone, yeah, a mentor, anyone that you look up to, anyone that you think like, will be good for you, that you can learn under them. If you learn under them, bro, you know what
Yeah.
you're doing? You're taking all that guy's experience and he's cutting out all the mistakes that he took, because it's much easier to learn from other people's mistakes than making your own mistakes, isn't it?
Mm. Mm.
And he's just gonna
Definitely.
cut down your journey by probably like a half. Like, imagine if I found ICT, like from the get go,
Yeah.
I would probably be I probably wouldn't be where I am now a lot faster. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
If I
Definitely.
just if I didn't have that ego, like, no, I wanna, bro. You know what I was doing at the start? I was like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking make my own concept. I'm gonna make my own model in it.
Mm.
And you
Mm.
know how dumb it was. You know how dumb it was. Oh my days, bro. So like, I used to be like, every eighth candle I'm gonna sell, and every fourth candle I'm gonna buy. Some bullshit. Like, what type of bullshit is
Yeah.
that? And I thought, oh, I'm gonna revolutionize trade. Like, come on, man. Like, this is what happens there when you don't have the right education. You start doing
Yeah.
dumb
Yeah.
shit like that, and
Yeah, do you know what it is? Yeah, it's crazy you say that because I remember like, of course, so I've kind of been that, so I guess that risk taker person in my like group of friends. I've always been the first to jump on opportunity. So even coming into like all of this trading stuff and everything, and like I was literally saying yesterday, I joined, I am Academy and like these things. So join I am Academy, leave. Then now I'm thinking, okay, cool. Them man are like they're dusted, innit? So now I'm getting into like premium groups. I'm paying for services. I get bumped. Someone stole like 4 bills off me.
bro, I've been bumped. You know how much I've been. If I told you how much I've been bumped off premiums and signals, yeah. Oh my days, bro.
It's fun, man.
I lost so much bread. That's why I hate them, bro. Like, that's why I hate the people that are given shitty education, bro. Sorry to cut you, but this one I'm passionate about. There's
Yeah,
one guy, and he's still on YouTube. I'm just for the safety of this video, I'm not gonna mention his name in it,
yeah.
bro. So this guy,
I don't
I
mind,
bought him.
if you're trying to drop names, bro. You can do anything on here, bro. This is my podcast, isn't it?
Cool. Do you know Alpha Dini?
No, no, no. I haven't heard of
All
him.
right, cool. Alpha Dini, yeah. He was a very popping name, and he's not popping now because I'm not surprised if he's not actually making money. And do you want me to tell you the whole story?
Yeah, go on.
All right, cool. It's gonna be like a minute though, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, cool.
All right, cool. So I joined Forex Dini's signals, yeah, and basically he was doing signals and mentorship. I was never really in it for signals. I was always telling my guys that, bro, we're gonna be in it to learn. Like, come on, like, we're not gonna be the
Yeah, yeah,
some sheep in it. So we joined, yeah, and I pay like, I think it was like I think it's a bill a month in it, or £50 a month. But we split it between 4 man on the sly in it, and we just shared the Telegram link. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And then what happened was we come to the education now, bro. You know what the education was? It was
Mm.
like 5 videos and they're 30 seconds long. 30 sec, bro. No cap, no cap. 30 seconds long, yeah, for each
Yeah,
5 video. And then, bro, I remember I messaged him like, bro, I want a refund in it because
yeah,
this is ridiculous, isn't it? Like, come on, like, I was trying to learn, yeah. I'm expecting some nice like course and that, innit? And he's just like, oh, I don't do refunds. I'm like, all right, cool. I went on PayPal and I refund that. And then he messaged me saying, oh, if I give you a refund, you can never ever join me. Even when I'm famous in the future, you're not allowed to join me. I'm like, bro, give my refund, man. Just be quiet and give my refund,
yeah,
innit? And then I saw in his signals, yeah. And his signals, bro, this guy used to have 100 pip stop loss, 100 pip take profit. Yeah. And he was getting so many stop losses, yeah, that people started doing. They start
Mm.
fade. You know what fading means, isn't it?
No, no.
Fading means take it. Alright, cool. Fade. So if I'm long and you want to fade me, you're gonna go short in it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So you just do the opposite of my position. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
counter trading.
people were fading his positions and they were making money from fading him in it. So what he
Mm.
done was he locked off his discussion,
Yeah,
right? Because people were mocking him. And I don't know if he still does signals to this day.
yeah, yeah.
People
This
like
is
that, like just
yeah,
they make
man.
a quick bag of these little services, isn't it? But when you see like in real time, like raw, and it's kind of disheartening. You know, the guy that you want to learn trading from, you think that this guy's he's kind of fooled you with the perception that he's good, yeah. And you know
Yeah,
when you start to actually see them, and you're like, raw, this guy's getting slapped. That it's so demotivating.
yeah, yeah, definitely. It's you know what it is, yeah. Like a lot of people come across as kind of like they put up a facade. Like sometimes it's not even on purpose, but they kind of build a name for themselves, and then automatically people make assumptions. Like like I literally I think I was saying this to you or one of the other podcast episodes because now I've kind of got a brand and stuff, right? People automatically just think like I'm some sick trader. They think like, do you get it? Like I've already done everything. Like, I'm still on my journey. I'm just doing these things because I like doing
Even
them.
me, bro, I think everyone, yeah, and I think everyone watching this, if there's some premium owners watching this,
Mm,
they'll all still be like, bro, we're all still a student to the game. You never think that you've done it, bro, until you've got zero drawdowns and you've got 100% win rate. Don't think that you've got it, because there's always room for improvement. And you know what it is, yeah, when you think that you've got it and you're not trying to improve yourself no more, bro, like, that's when you're still gonna start to decline heavily, you know.
yeah, definitely, man. It's basically like what I was trying to get at before is my view on premiums became similar to yours. So I'm bare like signal group chats, blah blah blah. Everyone's just getting shagged, like all my friends and stuff. So I'm like, you man, you know what? Yeah, we don't need this. Like, everything's free on the internet. Why don't we just go learn? Like, just do it ourselves. We're not touching normal premium. So we stopped, like completely stopped, right? But I hadn't bought or touched any services in so long before I came across yours. I saw yours. I was like, I just knew it's the right thing because of like many reasons. But that now I've come to a realization, you know what it is? It's not premiums and like all these things that are wrong. It's just the way people go about them. Because
It's
in
yeah,
reality,
hundred
it,
percent.
like if they were doing the correct education and stuff, it's worth it. Like you can put your money on it. You can charge like relative amounts and say as long as you're providing that sort of service. A lot of people just don't. They're not making people profitable. They're not giving them good signals or whatever. And of course, it's not everyone, and it's hard to find the I guess like the good people, the gems in the community. But the majority of people, I do think, get a bit lucky and stuff, or if they build a name for themselves just straight away, start that like signal service, start doing that, try to build that passive income. But now what I've learned is really if you're a trader, especially if you're a forex trader and you're funded, as most I'd expect they would be, you don't need money from your premiums and stuff because if you're genuinely a good trader, like good enough to bust out signals, why don't you just use them and get max funded? If you get max funded, you can make in one trade what your premium probably pays you in a month. Or like,
Hundred
yeah,
percent and more, hundred
yeah,
percent.
definitely.
And you know what it is, bro? Yeah, it's
Mm,
when I came into the scene, people thought like I hate the whole premium idea. It's not that, bro. Like
mm,
if it wasn't for me, if it wasn't for paid services, yeah,
yeah,
if it wasn't, I wouldn't have been able to learn how to trade the way I know how to trade now. I have nothing against the paid services, but yeah, your
mm,
price tag has to be justified. There's people like I don't know how people get the valuations first of all, and yeah,
yeah,
I don't know how people come up with it. And the problem, I'll tell you the problem, yeah, is it's the thing where friends are vouching
yeah,
friends based off of the fact that they're just friends, not that they're actually making money or
yeah,
anything
yeah,
like that. And that's the problem. That is the problem, yeah. Because you got to realize that a lot of the premiums, there's some premiums they're all friends together, bro. And it was a thing
yeah,
where
yeah,
they made a premium, their friend made a premium after. My man is just shouting his premium out, but off the basis of what? Do you know what I'm saying? That's the problem.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah, definitely.
I mean, I wouldn't probably never ever put my money into something that doesn't actually make money. And
Yeah,
I'm not just talking about £10, £15. I'm saying like, come on, I make some decent money. Like
yeah,
everyone wants to
yeah,
try to go clear from this trading thing. You wouldn't put your money into something that you're not trying to go clear from, innit? Yeah.
yeah,
If they're not even making a decent amount, then what is the point
mm,
of being with them? Do you know what I'm saying? There's no
yeah,
point. And I don't know where people get these justifications of like these like big amounts here. And I'll tell you the problem, bro. This is the biggest problem. Yeah, I'll tell you the problem with both your education and signals. The thing is with
yeah,
education, Are you giving out education to educate people, or are you just giving it to just, don't get me wrong, every single premium, bro, and I'm saying this is coming from me. I'm an owner as well. We all want a profit incentive. Don't get it twisted. That come on, I'm telling you the truth. Like everyone is doing it for some money as well. But the
Yeah.
thing is, yeah, how much of that are you actually caring about educating people? Like me, bro, I promise you, yeah, I promise you, I care about the people in my group. I care about what they're learning, bro. I promise you. If there has ever been anyone in the group here and they're watching this and I have aired them out, or I have never like gave them like I have never really just helped them out.
Yeah.
I kind of dodged them, like dodge questions and stuff like that. Or I told you to watch other videos if you don't understand me, bro. Leave me. Like honestly, leave me, bro. Because that is not what you're meant to be paying for. Then yeah, you got the people that are giving signals there.
Yeah.
When they're giving the signals, you got to realize that the people that are coming to take your signals, how big do you think their accounts are?
Yeah, small, tiny. So they're risking
Let's say they're putting a bag in. Yeah. Let's say they're putting a bag in. £1,000, bro, it's a lot of money. You can do a lot with £1,000, trust me. Yeah, let's say they've got £1,000, yeah, and they're paying. Let's say it's £200 a month. You're gonna have to do 20% a month from that just to break even.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? This is where it's a problem, and this is where, like, this is kind of where like people start to risk a lot because they want to see the return on the capital they're putting into it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you're charging like £200, you have to make like 200. You have to make £200 to make it back. So that's 20%, and then you might want profit on top. So how much percent do you think they're going to be risking to make that?
Yeah, too much.
It's and then what happens? They lose it, and then they blame the premium owner, and it's just it's the endless cycle. That's what it is.
Yeah, man, it's tough, man. I feel like a lot of men aren't considerate, and if you're not considerate of these sort of things, and fair enough if you never even thought about them, but if now you're hearing about these things and it's coming to light, and you're not kind of making a change or trying to think about people, because I don't know if it's because of me, but shout out Ryder and Gio. So Gio messaged me recently because I mentioned him in my previous podcast, and I was just saying like he said to like constantly be a student of the game, and he was on charts like backtest like crazy.
Yeah, I spoke to Gio as well. Like we spoke on Telegram once. If he's watching this as well, shout out to him. And he's a nice guy, bro. I like Gio. He's a sick guy. I like him.
Mm-hmm. And they basically reduced their prices, and I was touching on this in my previous episode. I was just saying that most of the people coming in are doing retail, they're doing normal jobs, so you can't extort these people. Like it just don't make sense to extort them, because if you don't genuinely want to help people, just don't do it. But if you are doing a service, make sure you actually care for the people that are there, right? Of course, like don't be a dickhead. If people are joining and they're not trying to learn, they're not putting the hours in, that's their minute. But if there's people coming to you, they genuinely want to learn, like do things right. Even with me, all my content that I've ever made, everything I've ever pushed is free. There's no one that I've ever charged for any info, like even out of my friends or whoever, right? And that's because to me, more time, it's like if somebody comes to me, if it's a friend or whoever, and they're showing me they want to work and they want to learn, I'll put into them as much as they're putting into themselves. But if they just come in looking for like a handout, or they just want a quick fix,
I agree with that.
I can't really help people with that sort of stuff.
And the thing with the price tag thing, and I had a discussion with my friends as well. Yeah, the thing is, yeah, you have to charge something because people don't take free content. Like, I got loads of free content, yeah, and I know for a fact people just rush it because it's free. That's the facts, yeah. It's either you can watch it whenever you want. It's always going to be there type thing, or like you're not losing anything from watching it because it's free, innit? Yeah. So charge something to make a commitment, 100%. Yeah. But the thing is, bro, you gotta recognize, yeah, people that really want to learn, yeah, the thing separating them from being able to learn from someone good should never be the price tag. Of course, if it's like £100 a month, yeah, it's reasonable. Do you know why? Because people spend £100 recklessly, bro. People will spend £100 on shoes, on a tracksuit. They'll spend £100 on like a night out. If you really want to, bet yourself, bro, you'll make that small sacrifice of that materialistic thing that you're trying to buy, and you'll put into some sort of self-development. I agree with that. But when you're going into the £200, £300, £400 region, yeah, bro, that is no longer materialistic. That is now going into people not being able to pay their car finance or their some bills. Or do you know what I'm saying? That's a
Yeah,
dangerous territory, bro. That's like not being able to sustain your life type territory, innit? Do
yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
And
Like,
it's kind
yeah,
of
go on.
peak because people will think that because something is more expensive, it's more worth it. Like they'll genuinely like scrap for this money. And I've been in those positions where, like, bro, I'll say this yesterday. I joined the IM Academy. I paid 3 bills my first month because I had that saved up. My second month, yeah, I didn't even make 3 bills at work. I think because of the hours I had, I was getting around 240 in a month. I was on minimum wage. And I sold my PS4 that second month just to make that monthly payment. By the third month, I came to my senses and I was like, yeah, fuck this, that man's out. But it's
Yeah,
just like
it's
you see,
it's
like those
crazy, man.
services, yeah, man, it's just dumb. But people will still pay for that because they think, oh, if I'm paying more, there's
It's
more.
marketing, innit? What can you
Yeah,
say? It's marketing, innit? Like people, like I remember, like so my price tag is a lot lower. I'm not gonna say the price. I'm not trying to show on it, but people like I've seen some people they say like the lower that the price is, obviously I probably don't have a lot to offer on that, but they don't know the reason why I do that. The
yeah,
reason is
yeah,
being because I want to make it affordable for people that want to actually learn. I don't want to. There could be the guy that is the pending best trader, right? You don't know. There could be a
yeah,
guy right now
yeah,
who's the pending best trader. He just don't have £200 to spend a month. He might have only under £100 a month. Now that guy separating what's going to separate him from learning is only money. It's not the fact that he's not willing to learn. It's not the fact that he's not dedicated. The only thing is money, and that shouldn't be the separating factor, bro. To an
yeah, yeah,
extent, it shouldn't be the separating factor. Of
yeah,
course, I don't believe in doing things because if you do it for free, bro, if I open my thing for free, yeah, like, and I still get messages from my free chat, bro. There's people I probably get messages every day from the free chat people, and if people from the free chat are watching this, like some people that ask me for help, they know I'll always help them. Like I help them the same as the people in the mentorship. It's just the content. Do you know what I'm saying? Whatever you're asking, what type of content you're asking me for, I'll help you in that content. They ask me about the free content, I'll make sure they understand the free content.
yeah, yeah.
And the thing is, everyone from my group, they came from the free content and
Mm,
they know, and you can vouch, yeah, the way I helped you with my free content, bro, I'm not going to treat you, I'm not just going to do that and then get you into the mentorship and not help you.
yeah,
I treat everyone fairly, bro. Everyone's want to learn. Just remember how you were when you wanted to learn. That's what I do. Do you
yeah, yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, definitely, man. And another thing is that even from my perspective, of course, being a student of yours now, when I saw the free content, I knew it's good. Like I knew I was kind of like, hit and go. But even like subconsciously, even me myself, I didn't value it as much. The second we got into the mentorship, I was like all ears, like 100% focused. But with the free content, it was more so like, you see, like once I'd done it and watched it and stuff, I was thinking, bro, this can't be as good as, like the mentorship stuff. Now looking back, I think one of your first like little episodes you dropped was on the DXY, right? And
Oh, the currency pair thing, the selection.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, episode 2. Yeah,
literally
yeah.
until now, I'm clocking that you dropped that, and I said this to you as well. Sometimes you come into the mentorship group chat, you're like, okay, I'm gonna give the free channel a video. Which video should I give? Looking back, I would have never said yes to that video because that's something I use almost every single day in my trading. I use the DXY to line up trades with whatever. And it's crazy, like again, even like we're saying this, but even me myself, sometimes you don't realize I'm subconsciously I wasn't valuing your content and not deep in like, oh, because this is free, I wasn't really taking it in. But now looking back, it's like, bro, like
There's
some of those free
nothing in
things
that
is
free. There's
crazy.
nothing in that free content. Because you know what I do as well. I don't know if you lot remember. Yeah, you see
Mm,
with the content I was teaching you guys. So I just taught them a simple optimal trade entry, the OTE,
yeah,
yeah. And I remember just for like clarification for the free chat. I remember I'd done a trade, a live trade using the examples from the free channel.
yeah,
I done the Euro GBP. I derived which one should I trade, GBP USD or Euro USD. I lined up with the DXY optimal trade entry.
yeah,
It works. Just for proof. Do you know what I'm saying? Just so that there's clarity saying that if you just use this, and I promise you, yeah, the guys, if you're hearing this, if you can decipher the stuff, yeah, in the free Telegram, I promise you got trading model in there. It might be a bit all over the place,
yeah,
but there's trading models in there. And if you read what I say as well, yeah, because not everything is in the videos. Some things are in the paragraphs. I'm a waffler and I do a lot of text in it. If you read all of that, I promise you, you can make sense of it and you'll see the markets in a better, I think, in a better light, innit?
yeah, yeah. No, definitely. There's a lot in there if guys really take it in. If you have some decent foundational knowledge, you can take away a lot from there. It's true. I'd like to kind of go back, right? Of course, when you came through, it was very controversial, and you drew out XP and stuff. And now,
Yeah.
of course,
Do you know?
everyone
Do you know?
trends.
Do you know? Do you want to know how the whole XP thing started? I think XP won't mind it because me and him, were, you know what? Me and XP are good. You know, we're good friends now, bro. Like we
Yeah,
speak
yeah, yeah,
often on the phone. Like, bro, I've seen XP see me as well. You know that?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. So I'll tell you exactly how it started. It was just, bro. You know what it is? It's just two guys with ego, and let's be real. If XP's watching this, bro, shout out to my man, innit?
Mm,
All right, cool. So before I was on Twitter, I was on Snapchat, and I was always telling people like, bro, if they're teaching you something that's easily available on YouTube, because I'll be real, the stuff that I teach is not easily available on YouTube.
yeah, it's
I'll be
not.
real, it's
I can
not. Yeah,
vouch. Yeah,
it's not. If they're teaching something that's easily available on YouTube, then you're better off going on YouTube. That's the facts. Yeah, because the
yeah,
guy on YouTube is probably going to do a better explanation than the guy that's teaching on a premium. And then like I was thinking like, oh, 50% of the order block, whatever, whatever. Like I've done this before, and like this isn't something that's brand new. Why is people thinking it's brand new type thing, and whatever. XV, he even told me that, bro. He didn't even know. And do you know what? If XV found out on his own back that the 50% of some price arrays are significant, bro, shout out to my man, because you know what? Finding that out by yourself, yeah, without knowing that it's already available, that's a big deal. I'll be real, that's a big deal. Now, he posted something to do with the funding, and I was like, bro, you haven't even passed it yet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, yeah,
post it after, and then he told me, he said something, and then he was just like, respect me, innit? And
yeah,
then I
yeah,
was just like, oh, how is he telling me respect me? Like, come on, like, who's whatever. Now the ego's kicking in, it's a back and forth thing, da 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 da.
yeah,
The exposing thing happened, whatever. And you know what, bro? I tell you for real, I had the wrong idea of XV. I swear
yeah,
to God,
yeah,
XV is one of the most humble guys I've met in the game, and he's one of the only he's the only premium owner that I've seen profit from the
yeah,
market.
yeah.
Serious talk, bro.
Yeah, and good profit because you see, even me, I jump on calls with this guy like all
Yeah,
the time. We trade on Blue.
he's not making, little, like little,
Yeah,
crappy
yeah.
amounts as always. Bro, shout out to my man, mashallah, bro. This guy, he's killing it, bro.
And you know what? You know what's funny? This guy's got literally. You know what you see on people's Snapchat stories? Oh, drop me a bag. We're gonna flip it into 10 bags. You know all them scammers and people fall for that. This guy's doing it, but he's actually doing it
He's actually
legit.
doing it legit.
It's so
Yeah, he's a
crazy.
sick guy. He's a sick guy, man.
Yeah,
And you
man.
know what?
'Cause
He's proper honest, bro. Like he's if X, and do you know what's crazy? Yeah, you know that guy. I'm not gonna mention his name, but Mr. Six Figure, and
oh
when
yeah,
the
yeah,
whole thing happened, when him and the XV thing happened, yeah, I remember I was on call to XV when he got called out. Yeah, he's like, "What the fuck? I just got called out again," and I was like, "Nah, let me
yeah.
go on Twitter." And I
Oh,
see it, and
funny.
this guy's dragging XV down, saying, "If I'm going down, take XV down." I'm thinking, what is going on here, bro?
Yeah,
And do you know what? That guy's a good example of people being so quick here to open a premium. Because,
yeah,
bro, I think he was in the scene. Some people said he was in the scene for a week. He
yeah,
sent a
yeah,
few signals. Because you got to realize, bro, every trader has a good run. Like, we all have good winning streaks. And that winning streak is not what defines you. It's the whole,
yeah,
everything, how you deal with everything in the grand scheme of things. That's how you know what I'm saying? The drawdowns, the good times, the bad. That's how you kind of see someone as a trader, not just a win. Yeah.
yeah,
And then what
yeah,
happened, bro? That whole thing happened with the whole no stop loss, remove it. And then what happened? A guy lost probably his savings from that guy. That's danger. Like, and you know what is? There's a lot of young guys on the scene, and I'm not saying age is a direct correlation of how good someone is. I'm not saying that because a young
yeah,
guy, like you said, ads. Shout out to him. Yeah, you said he's been training for 4 years. That is, bro. At 12 years old, 13 years old, I was playing Call of Duty.
yeah,
I didn't even know these things. I didn't even know if a candlestick existed or not, bro.
yeah,
If you told me candlestick, I'm probably thinking a candle. Do you know what I'm saying? Now,
yeah,
there's
crazy.
some guys though, yeah, they're young and they picked up the game young as well, and they're like maybe 17, 18, and you got to realize, yeah, maturity, being a mature person outside of the charts is a big deal on the charts.
Mm,
You
mm,
can't be Mr. Get lit every day, go clubbing, get drinking, irresponsible, because that irresponsibility, you're probably going to be a risky guy, irresponsible with risk management, bro. Trading is not independent of your personal life. Your personal life, yeah, how you are is going to be directly reflected in how you trade. I promise you that. You can't be like drunk or high or whatever and trade, or you can't think about that. Let's say you get hungover or you're proper high. How are you gonna wake up the next day to trade, bro?
yeah, yeah. That's
You
true
can't.
still.
You know what I'm saying? It's all like that. And the thing is, these younger guys, they're not so mature per se, and that's the problem. Maybe, and some guys are mature. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, like I feel like 760, he's pretty like he's got good risk management. Like I'm in his chat, and he manages risk as well. And do you know what? When he told me he's like 16, bro, I couldn't even believe it, bro.
Yeah,
Two
man,
things, because of his
voice,
because of his deep voice, yeah. And secondly, just how he handles things, bro. Like he was making what games for like well, what's it called,
yeah,
Roblox or something at a young age. Like you know what I'm saying?
Killing. Crazy, man.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But then you got the other end where there's these 17-year-olds that just come in, they know that there's money in these premiums, whatever, get gassed up, get a shout out, make money. Like that guy, he didn't even refund the guy. He put it all on the line for £200 a month. From a business point of view, yeah. How dumb is that?
Yeah, man. This is what I mean. Like a lot of people don't think about the future and the long term. Like it's just crazy, man. Because even okay, cool. Like so, my boy is doing that plates thing, right? So 10% plates. So we got that Insta, and initially, the way he was gonna go about stuff, there was no like attention to like design and like the Insta formats and stuff. So I showed him this is how we're gonna do stuff. This is like how you should do it.
Like
and
take care in your service, isn't it?
Yeah. Because I was saying to him, bro, like there's sometimes it's very small stuff, but it gets to me personally. It's like something's not centered, like a little bit of text, something like that. But I tell him, bro, like if you actually want to grow this into something, if you want to be big one day, if you go look at these big companies that I don't know sell cars or whatever, do you think they even make a single mistake on the Instagram? There's a certain way to like conduct yourself and do things. And if you think about the long term, you have to do it from the get go. If you actually want to grow, you got to have those good habits and all those small things and have it from the jump. Because if you have it from the jump, you're going to maintain it. It's just going to stay like that. And
yeah, bro, you hit on the head with the good habits. It's all about building good habits, bro. I always say that good habits, yeah, they build a good life, bro. It's the people with the bad habits, bro. You'll see they're sad. Even if they ain't, it's not even about a money thing. Take money out of the equation, bro. If you got bad habits, yeah, and you're so aware they're bad habits, but you just, for whatever mental reason, you just can't let go of them, yeah, bro, you'll be a sad person. Because that clarity, after you give into it, yeah, after that dopamine's gone, bro, and the clarity comes to you, bro, you're gonna be like, what am I doing? And people like, what am I doing in my life, bro? Like, and then they go do what they're trying to stop doing, and it's just an endless. That's a cycle of doom, to be honest, man.
Yeah, man. It's sad to see it sometimes, but it's just life, and it's like you said before, you can apply it to anything. Even the idea of, for me personally, like gym ties into everything in my life, like in terms of discipline and habits. But the same way it ties into like my trading and stuff, like having that discipline to do something every single day back to back, it carries over to like everything you do. So it's kind of necessary to think about what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, because going back to your point, you're not going to see your changes day to day, but they're going to add up, they're going to accumulate, and a few months down the line and so forth, it's like the changes you're going to see.
You see the guys that go to the gym, yeah, bro, I love it. Do you know why? Because it just makes my job easier. Because when I try to relate the two, trading and gym, bro, they're the exact same thing, just different. Just one's trading, one's gym. It's the fact that, like, so you can go to the gym, but if you're outside the gym eating shit, you're not going to see optimal results. The same thing with trading. If you're, going back to what we said a few minutes ago, if you've got bad habits outside of the chart, they're going to be shown on the charts, right? The gym shows that small progressions add up to big progressions, right? The same thing with trading, small progressions add up to big, bro. There's and like the same thing with like progressive overload. It's the same thing with trading. Put a bit on every single day, get a bit better every single day, and you know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing again. What do people do? What do the better people do with the better lifters? They record their lifts, right?
Yeah.
They record their lifts to see their form. That's like this, bro. Backtest, journal your trades, see where you went wrong, see what you can do better. There's just nitpick at the little things, yeah, and get better. It's the same thing, bro.
I was saying this in the mentorship group chat, yeah. So that's one of the like, last things I want to touch on for trading. If you're a trader, this is going to be very important for you, right? So of course it's easy to know where you're doing well. If you journal and record everything, you're going to know, you're seeing success on this pair, you're seeing success on this pair. So that way you know how to place your strengths, right? Let's say you record 100 trades on Euro USD and GP USD, and on GP USD only 30% of them hit your take profit, but on Euro USD something like 70%, right? So simple, you just stick to Euro USD. Clearly it works better for you. But where you're losing, try to reverse engineer your losses. That's going to be such a game changer. I feel like people don't like pay attention.
100 million %, bro. it's like this, yeah. If you don't journal, yeah, it's all about, you know what SWOT is? Have you ever heard of SWOT if you've done business or anything?
No, no.
Alright, cool. So SWOT, yeah, is an abbreviation for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. But we're gonna care more about the S&W and the strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
Bro, all it is, yeah, and real businesses use this. A SWOT analysis is basically when you try to analyze and see your strengths and weaknesses, yeah. So if you aren't, the whole point about getting better, you cannot improve if you cannot identify the weakness. It's like this. Can you treat a disease if you can't identify what the disease is? If you know what I'm saying? You can't, then you get the correct medicine and you get better. That's how the process goes. It's the same thing, bro. You identify the weakness, yeah, whatever it is, and that's only done for journaling. If you don't look back where your weaknesses are, you'll never be able to see them, right? Then you see them, and then you work on it, and you rectify it, and that's it.
Yeah, definitely. Like, again, like tying it into gym and stuff, right? A lot of people don't realize where some of the issues are coming from, right? Of course, I'm proper into all of that stuff. I do my research. I look at like physiology and whatnot. If you ever go to like, I don't know, let's say like a chiropractor or a physiologist, and you're like, I got back pain. Your back pain could be coming from the most random things you wouldn't even think. But if do you know what they do? They'll make you do very specific movements, and in certain movements, your legs or something won't be able to stretch out, or there's going to be a big imbalance where, like, I don't know, let's say you do a lunge, your right knee touches the floor, but when you do it the other side, you left, like that sort of stuff, you're not going to know until you actively
get tested.
Yeah. So that's the same thing with your training. You need to pay attention to each step of your process. Is it how, like, sometimes it might even just be your environment. Is it the time you're trading? Like, blah, blah, blah. But it's going to be different for everyone. But for all the traders out there listening, trust me, start focusing and recording all your data, then look back at it, evaluate. If you do that and you improve, there's that saying, something like, if you improve 1% every day, that's not 365% in a year.
Because you're compounding it. It.
Exactly.
You know
so it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, it's even more than that. It's probably going to be closer to the 1,000.
Yeah, literally. But yeah, man. So now I'm gonna move on to a very interesting topic. We speak about this all of the time. Like it's crazy, isn't it? But I've got a question for you, right? So Ash asked me this question the other day. So would you rather sit on a dick and eat cake, or sit on a cake and eat dick?
Say that again.
So would you rather sit on a dick and eat cake, or sit on a cake and eat dick?
Nah, I'd rather sit on it. But the way I'm going to sit on it, is that, like, so it's not penetrating me, innit? I'll sit on it, like, you know what I'm saying? I'll sit on, like, I'll just rub it on my arse, or something, and I'll just enjoy that cake, innit?
No, I hear it.
Oh, shout out to Ash, man. That guy's a sick guy as well.
Legal loophole. But yeah, man, the next thing I actually want to go into is conspiracies. And everyone loves a conspiracy theory. So Omar put me on to a great podcast. It's David Icke or David Icke. It was on the True Geordie podcast. So I think it's very long. It's probably like 3 hours, right? But that was insane. Like, I think I just watched it all in one sit.
Bro, you don't even realize it's 3 hours. Watch it. I swear to God, you don't even realize.
Yeah, that's one of the best things I think I've ever watched. But so my question for you is, what's your like best or like biggest conspiracy that kind of like appeals to you, or you think is like 100%,
Bro, you know what it was, Maybe because I'm a Muslim as well, but it's definitely 9/11.
Yeah.
Because, bro, you know what it was, like, there was like engineers as well, and the engineers would just say, like, there's no way. And there's a famous video on YouTube. I don't know if it's been like taken off now, but there was a structural engineer, and what the structural engineers do, they structure the buildings, innit? Like how you can build a building, and they were doing the maths and the logic behind everything. They're like, if a jet crashed into the building, they're like, you see the jet fuel, it's not hot enough to burn steel beams, innit? And they're like, the building, right, the way that it fell over, it's not a way that a building would collapse if a plane hit it. Do you know what I'm saying? They said that the floors were going out one by one, like there was C4 planted on every single corner. Like it was boom, 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 boom. Do you know what I'm saying? And it just dropped straight down. And he was like, he's been in the game for so long. He's been like an engineer for so long. He's like, there is no way you can tell me that wasn't a demolition job. Like he's like, he's seen buildings, right, that are actually meant to be demolished. Like, when there's a building and you're trying to get rid of it to like use the land or whatever in it, and you want to do a demolition job, he's like, that's how they would do it. That's what a legit demolition job looks like, the way that the 9/11 tower thing. And obviously, if you add in the whole government and agendas and things, it kind of makes sense. And then there was a thing where bro, if you watch that David Icke thing, I think he says something like, you see the pilot, the way they were
Yeah,
flying, like he apparently they're like the way the plane was being flown is no way that it's not like some sort of specialist driving that plane.
yeah, yeah,
There's
yeah,
no way that it could just be some random guy because the maneuvers he was making, right? And the pilots were verifying this. The maneuvers they were making was ridiculous. Like no one can just pick up a plane and start doing those maneuvers. Do you know what I'm saying? And then
yeah,
there was a whole thing of like very rich people that worked at the World Trade Center. They just didn't come in that day.
yeah. So
Supposedly
many
that one,
people,
yeah, that one
it's
day they
crazy,
didn't come
man.
in, and then it just collapsed and all of that. And but it's
Yeah,
crazy, man. There's so many conspiracies. Like one, do you know that crypto group chat we got on Snapchat with? I'm not gonna say his name in it,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. Oh,
we're
yeah,
cool in it. Me and him. Do you know what, bro? He knows who he is if he's watching this. Yeah,
yeah,
I like him. Do you know what I like him? Because he gives these good things, and he's talking about the flat Earth in it,
yeah,
bro. There's no way, yeah, the Earth can be flat. Do you know how we find out the Earth is actually round? You know, there's a guy, and his name is Aristotles. You know, he was a Greek philosopher, yeah,
yeah,
and mathematician. And bro, the way he done it is so interesting, yeah. So in Greek, yeah, in the city of Alexandria and Athens, they're like far apart, innit? And you
yeah,
see in Alexandria, there's a time of the year where there's like the sun is directly above you and there's no shadow in it.
yeah,
But in Athens, you don't get that because the earth is slightly curved, right? You don't
yeah,
get that. It's not a flat plane. Otherwise, if it was a flat plane, there'll also be the same thing on Athens. There'll be no shadows as well. But there was a slight, very slight shadow in
mm,
Athens. So what he done was, yeah, he got a stick, yeah. So the next year he told one guy, yeah, um, first what he done was he put a stick into the ground. And then you see the shadow that the stick had. Because when you put the stick into the ground, obviously there's a shadow coming out of the stick in it.
yeah,
He measured the angle of that stick, yeah. I think it was at 7.6 degrees.
yeah,
And then he went and he told one guy, he paid a guy, he's like, yeah, calculate the distance from here to Alexandria, and
yeah,
then he calculated it. And what he done was he just done a simple equation. He done um this is how he found the diameter of the earth in it, like the distance of the earth in it. Because they
yeah,
already knew the earth was round then, yeah. So they done 7.6 they just done it like a ratio in it, 7.6 over 360.
yeah,
And that has to be equal to the distance of Alexandria to the thing, and then they just find the distance that will be equal to the 360%. Do you know what I'm saying? Because if
yeah, yeah,
7.6% is equal to like 10 kilometers, then that
yeah,
means that 360, if you just find 360 degrees, then that will be all the kilometers of the
yeah,
earth in
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
So how can the earth be round? How can the earth be flat just from that, bro?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is,
And the thing is, they think it's only NASA that's the only space station, bro. I gave that guy a list, bro. I gave him a list. There's so many. There's Asian ones. There's American ones,
yeah,
European ones, bro. There's Russian ones. Are you saying they're all in the game together? It makes more sense if NASA's the dominant one and you want to try to get more market share. Then,
yeah,
bro, you'll be the small guy that says no, the Earth is flat, and you'll show proof that it's flat. But they're all on the same boat. Yeah, cool. The moon mission, I agree. Yeah, I think it's fake, in it because there was wind blowing the flag and whatever. And if you go to the historical thing of it, it was
yeah,
kind of like a superiority thing in it between the Russians and America, and so
yeah, yeah,
everyone had a reason to be the first person on the moon, and
yeah, yeah.
but saying the Earth is flat is crazy. Then I told him, remember the thing with the stars, and
Oh, yeah, yeah,
I was like, how can you if why can people on the bottom part of the Earth only see certain stars, and if you're on the top part of the Earth, you can't see the other stars that those people see? Why is that? If it was flat, we look into the sky, we all see the same stars, isn't it?
yeah,
And there's no thing. Then I don't know. He was asking me about some. They don't even believe gravity exists, bro. You know they don't. Oh, bro. You know when it comes into physics and forces and things like that, bro. You know he was saying volume and buoyancy, innit? Bro, you know volume
yeah.
is not even. It's not force, bro. You know forces, yeah. They're
Mm,
vectors, innit? They're vectors.
mm,
Vectors. They have direction. They move in a direction.
yeah.
Gravity moves in a direction is downwards. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
is
yeah,
downwards. Yeah, it's a vector. To replace gravity with volume and buoyancy, bro, at least compare it to another flipping force, and you're not even doing it with another force. It just makes no sense. I
yeah,
mean, if
man.
there's any flat earthers here, yeah, watching this, in it, just give me a good argument, like why is really flat.
People listening probably think this is crazy, but this was a genuine argument, is the earth flat or not, for about 2 hours in a Snapchat DC. Guys were back in evidence, pictures. Almost started back in videos of him flipping coins and like showing like it's mad. But it still is interesting. Like to be fair, yeah, like genuinely, a lot of people would hear my man and just instantly say he's stupid. Like to an extent, his argument does hold, right? Because his argument is based on Christian beliefs, and I think you called it like straw man's or something. I don't even know what that is, right? But I'm assuming it's because his kind of like base point is everything around us is manipulated by the devil.
Yeah, so everything that I say, then he's just gonna say is government agenda. He's just straw man my thing, and straw manning is like he's whatever I say. Then is he's making the premise so that I can't use an argument against him.
Yeah,
because he was saying that it was based on the Christian belief that the Earth's flat and whatever, and I was saying, but I'm not Christian.
yeah. So in his own regard, he's right. Like it makes sense. I see, even though I don't agree like at all, I see the angle. I see where he's coming from, because let's just say what he's saying is true, then well, of course, then it would be right. But it's just the idea that everything around us is manipulated is crazy. But that's those type of conspiracies I like. I remember guys in our group chat were speaking about what's that? I think there's something in America. I can't remember who mentioned it, but they go worship an owl or something. It looks so.
Oh yeah, bro. That's a real thing. That's a real thing. I forgot the name of that island, isn't it? And they saw David Beckham go there or something.
Yeah, and it's like bare like famous rich people. And the worst part is, yeah, everybody knows about this. Like it's out there, but it's still normal. Guys are going in robes and meeting up in the forest, and like it's just mad. Do you know what Epping Forest is?
Which one?
Epping Forest.
Epping Forest now.
Okay, so that's around. If you're from East or North London, you'll know what that is. Like 100%. If you're from London in general, but that's like a massive forest, and of course, shout out to him, my bro. He's in my group chat, but he tells me stories all the time, right? So he's got Epping Forest. First of all, it's massive, like it's giant. It stretches across like half of London and outside London, something like that, right? So he had, it's massive, bro. If you search it, like it's crazy. But so he had like some of his family grow up somewhere, I don't even know where now, but somewhere around there, right? And he's always telling me mad stories. They say there's a hill, so like uphill, and if you stop your car there, people say the car automatically just starts going up. And one of his family members has live experienced that, and a lot. Bro, this what I mean. This is crazy, yeah. But one time I was like, mad, bro. I was like, let's go in it. So I was telling this guy, but these times we were driving past Epping Forest at like 5 p.m. This is like probably like a year back or something now. And I was on it. We weren't meant to go that specific day, but I was like, in the future, let's go to that hill and let's see what we're going ourselves in. Bro, I was driving past that forest and it's still broad daylight. I was like, there's no way I'm going in there. Because these times, yeah, you're driving past and there's no like phone service, no nothing. I was like, this is like, you know, the movies where the danger. I was like, yeah,
some Friday the 13th shit. Bro, now we need to do that, bro. On my life, we'll get like a few go a few cars up, some safety, whatever.
Yeah.
And we'll do it. Oh, that's lit. Bro, you know what I've always wanted to do? Yeah, you know, like how people like go like abandoned warehouse, like abandoned houses, like hospitals, and just explore it, bro. I'm so on doing that shit, bro. That's so fun.
Yeah. I shout out Joe Weller, man, because I used to.
Shout out Joe, bro. This guy, bro. You see Joe Weller, yeah. When internet melts and his exploration videos came out, that was a good time to be alive, bro.
Yeah, or if you know, I think they're called TGF.
TGF goes, yeah.
They used to make a couple of videos on that as well, man. Like them type of videos. I remember back in the day, I would rinse them, like just back to back with all the videos.
Big man thing, that was sick.
There's a lot of beefy stuff, man, and even with these conspiracies, right? So, like carrying on with the idea of conspiracies, I remember. So shout out, there's a guy called Bezel. He's in 760s chat, keeps his chat, right? And he was mentioning something along the lines of like bird flu and like these things from a while back. And then
I remember seeing that. I see that.
And then it came up on the Spectator Index. That's like massive Twitter page with like, you know, all the big news and stuff. If they put out something, it's legit. And they were just saying there's the first case of bird flu been found in China or something. And then I was like, my man told me about that. And on top of that, so you said this yourself as well. And shout out Bands SMI. He said this to me earlier as well. I remember speaking to him. He said that ICT was saying from like 2019 or something, people need to stock up on food, they need to stock up on like blah blah blah. So it's like that in itself is a conspiracy because everyone knows ICT has insider info. This guy's been trading so long. We know everything
You
about
know the
both.
thing with bird flu. Do you know why it's so important, bro?
Mm,
Because imagine livestock starts to die. Because
yeah,
the whole thing with the bird flu is that imagine it goes and affects the livestock, and all the livestock starts dying, and people have to, big farmers have to kill all the livestock, bro. Imagine the price of meat.
yeah.
Bro, it'll be crazy. Like literally, bro, you don't know how much meat consumption there is in it, like from people, just for people to eat. Yeah, bro, there is so much like livestock, and imagine the livestock dies. That's
It would be
nuts.
crazy. You know, so the conspiracy behind this sort of stuff, right? If you go check, I think it's online to see, but Bill Gates has been buying a shit ton of land in America, like crazy amount of farmland. So the conspiracy behind this is basically depopulation. Like they're trying to kill off bear man for whatever reason. I haven't looked into it too deep, but just like in summary, they're basically saying they're trying to get rid of lots of people on the planet for whatever reason, and this is how they're doing it. And this is like to an extent, it sounds very crazy, but at the same time, what other kind of
What other
non-obvious,
logical, yeah? What type of
non-obvious way
other outcome is there now?
yeah, apart from like diseases and stuff, especially if they're engineered. You know, even COVID, there's so many conspiracies like it's engineered in China, engineered here. Like it might be a form of
And
biological warfare.
Even Bill Gates, yeah, if I remember, he was like, if anything's gonna wipe us out, it will be a disease.
Yeah. And bro, he's like one of the richest people on the planet. And Mama's buying all this land. These guys,
Yeah.
they don't do stuff without a reason. There's definitely something behind it.
Yeah,
Um,
there's always collusion between the big guys, 100%. It's smart money. They're literally smart money, bro.
It's crazy. And then on top of that, if you think about it, right? So if they're saying, again, to me, the idea is always behind most of these conspiracies, it all comes back down to like money and economics, right? If China genuinely engineered COVID, right? This conspiracy is a bit flawed because of course China went through it as well and it fucked up their economy and whatever, right? But there's kind of been that cool that China done it and now it's gone America and it's kind of like, accelerated them towards that recession and that whole idea of like the big reset and
Yeah. The
if
new
you've ever
currency
seen
and all that.
if you've ever seen like Mike Maloney, he's got this thing where he's saying every few hundred years the power and like innovation switches between the East and the West. And of course the West has had it, right? So America and even like Great Britain.
That's actually true. That's actually true. It used to be in the Middle East. Like mathematicians, science, all of that innovation, bro, that it all came from the Middle East, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's true,
initially.
man.
And now you go back, like we've had it in the West for so long, and now it's been a few hundred years, let's say even since 1600, everything since like Christopher Columbus or some shit has been coming from there. So now it's coming back to the East because what's happened for the last decade? Who's been, China in terms of export in the world, like
They're the biggest exporters in the world, bro.
yeah. So now the power is coming back towards, of course, China because, like I said, they've got all this export, and if like, do you know what it is? America and the US dollar. Like, if you do study economics, of course, I've only self-studied, so there's definitely gaps in my knowledge. But it's like the backing currency or the global currency, right? Because everything's backed by dollar and whatnot. If you look into
Everything is default to the dollar, yeah.
yeah, so it all started from World War II and stuff. It's quite interesting. But now, if they kind of topple and the dollar kind of loses all that power and control, then that power is up for grabs, right? Because at the end of the day, there's always going to be some sort of entity that's dominant or at least on top of other like countries and whatnot. So now that, China are responsible for whatever, they kind of had that opportunity to like grab that power. So if you do think about it, it is kind of in their interest to create something like COVID and do all of these things. But, it's all just guesswork. At the end of the day, it does go deep. There could be a million other things happening, a million other reasons for them creating all of this stuff.
If you add in the thing with like technical analysis here, and when I say technical analysis here, I always say and I say this to the group all the time, and I think I said this in the last video. What you have to do, you have to always consider the macro of the economy, innit? Yeah. You see, if you just do like intermarket analysis here between the DXY, some commodities like gold and so like like corn and soybeans, and you look at like the US 10-year yield and things like that, bro, you'll start seeing some stuff like Bitcoin, right? You see the whole thing what ICT teaches about smart money. He says, smart money, and this is why you should be able to trade many markets, because smart money doesn't trade in just one market, bro.
Yeah.
Some markets go dry and some markets go big. Why? Because smart money is involved in that market. You won't have a big market if smart money. And what I mean by smart money, if you're watching this, you're thinking, what is smart money? It's not these smart money concept guys trading your order blocks and stuff like that. This smart money is the large, big boy players, and the key takeaway, they're well informed. Like they got the inside knowledge, right?
Yeah.
Now these guys, right? Like think about it. What was happening with COVID, yeah? Bitcoin went on a rally. But if you look at everything, right? Look at the US 10-year, look at the DXY on the decline, yeah? Everything declined as well though. The Euro USD was declining, Euro was declining, all the currency pairs were declining. But what was running? What was pumping? The Bitcoin was pumping, crypto was pumping. It's a transition of smart money from currencies into
crypto,
right? And then what are you seeing now? You're seeing indices being the move. Why? Because stocks, that's what indices are, right? US 100, the top 100 US tech stocks, right? They move into that. You really see big moves. When you see one thing go dry, you see another one start come to life. Bro, it's just smart money going in from one market to another market. That's all it is.
And
even now, like Forex has been a bit choppier. And ICT touched on this, I think, and he's like, and I always touched on this as well. And this is one of the reasons why I say it's not buying and selling pressure. And I said this, and I said this a few times, and it's there. It's there in our chats here. I always say it can't be buying and selling pressure on the market, and it can't be supply and demand that's moving the Forex market. Because remember, we have to facilitate trade between countries. If our currency, and I think I said this to you as well ages ago. I know I said this, it's in our chat, and I probably said it in a video, right? We have to facilitate trade, right? That's one thing we have to do. We have to manage them. We have to have a stable exchange rate, because if our pound goes too high, right, no one's going to want to trade with us. And what's going to happen? Our exports are going to go down. Our exports go down. Our growth will start to decline. Yeah. So it's very important that we maintain trade. But what's happened with COVID? What happened to most supply chains? Disruption, right?
Yeah.
There's been disruption. And that's why you'll see the moves in the Forex market, they have not been so clean. Like you'll see price double trading into an area where we're not expected to double trade into. And it's just weird things like that. Like you just don't expect it. The moves aren't being as clean. And maybe when the whole supply chain, if it does fix up, then I think, Forex will be, this prime time market like how it was before.
Yeah. It's crazy because a lot of these things do tie back into the market. Like you wouldn't think it. The average person definitely doesn't think it, or even they're not even aware. But even the idea that we pumped and then we dumped, like on Bitcoin, as you were saying, for the crash. Like imagine how many trap buyers were in that pump, and now they're all just getting dusted as well.
Because you got to think of it. Yeah, you see, like touching back on retail. Yeah, it's not the retail method; it's the retail mindset. The FOMO is real for newbies, right? The FOMO, when you see that all-time high break. And I was involved, and I'll be real, I was involved in that second Bitcoin run, bro. I was involved when everyone was saying we're in the maddest bear market. I was involved like very, very early in it, and I think I got out when that low broke on the You see when the low broke when we went higher and then we broke lower.
Yeah.
I got out then because I knew what time. I just knew what time it was, innit? Because there's only one reason. If you make a high and then you run that high and then you break lower, there's only one reason. You don't want no one to be in that move. Because if they shorted it at the first high, then people that were selling at the high, they're all going to be in money. But if you throw it up one time higher, everyone that was in that high, most people they're removed, and then they're not participating in that large move down. And now when and this is the thing, and I remember in the NFP yesterday, there was someone in the chat and they were saying like, why am I getting this error on MT4? Because when there's significant move up here, there's going to be two things that happen. You don't get the full price you want. Have you ever entered a buy and you're just like buying suddenly your buy is at the top for no reason?
Yeah.
That's because you get repriced. You get they don't want you involved in that big move. Yeah. Or you're gonna get common error. Common error is you are gonna get entered into that right price, but they're not gonna let you get entered at that price. And you're gonna get common error. And you're gonna keep spamming that button, and when you spam that button and it finally goes through, bro, you're gonna see that you just bought at the high.
Yeah. This reminds me of something quite recently. Actually, I took a trade on gold, and I don't know why this happens, but of course so this trades with IC markets. My stop loss must have been at like 1891, and I entered the trade at like 1894, right? So you could say it's a fairly tight stop loss, but the trade was on like 15-minute time frame. And I come back later, right? So it's meant to be managed risk. I think I risked something like 0.6%. And I come back and gold went straight to 1886. Yeah, that's a 50 pip drop or something. So I'm just there looking at, yeah, like it's just very booky that even these things happen sometimes. I think there probably is a reason behind it, but it's like, why is there like an instant drop, or why did my specific thing get sold at 1886 instead? So, and more time, it won't happen the other way around. Like, that will never happen to you.
Yeah. So that's called slippage, isn't it?
Yeah. So like,
you will never. You will never. So us retail traders, and retail traders meaning that we're small, like we're not with institutions. Yeah, we will never get positive slippage. Even if we all try to, we will never get. You'll only get negative slippage. But if you're with a prime brokerage, right, like the big boy accounts, you can sometimes get positive slippage, which is a good thing. Obviously, you won't even get a drawdown.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, everything just coming back to the markets and the conspiracy. Like when it ties in, it all does get a bit.
Bro, the market is a large conspiracy as well, man. There's so much like things around. Like you see, like the whole Bitcoin intermarket analysis. Like, yeah, someone might be crazy, but the technicals, looking back to it in hindsight, it lined up. Like there was not like you see like so like infant market, yeah. When Bitcoin was an infant market, right, and it was only at 2K, and there was really no buy side targets.
Yeah.
But do you know what you have to do, bro? And remember, I said this in the free chat as well. And then ICT made a video on it like the few days after, innit? Yeah. I'm not saying ICT copied me. I'm saying that in the sense that I learned of ICT and then he kind of confirmed it after, innit? Like so the Euro USD was already OTE, but the DXY wasn't OTE. So that means that Euro USD can move more as DXY goes into its OTE, right? Yeah. So now do the same thing with Bitcoin, yeah? There's no buy side targets, but the DXY is got loads of sell side targets. The bonds have loads of sell side targets, right?
Yeah.
So what does that mean? That you just intermarket analysis, you don't look at Bitcoin for the buy side targets. You look at where is the dollar going to go to on the sell side and try and pair that up with the buy side targets that don't exist yet on Bitcoin. That's how you'll do it.
Amanda, if anyone listening is a forex trader, that's crazy, gems though, because that's literally half my trading model exposed. But like you got to take it in it, because another thing I think people do get confused, right? Why is the DXY so important? The US dollar, like you said before, it's the default. It's kind of like in charge, or like kind of in control to an extent. So you need to see the direction for that to then determine the direction for whatever pair you're trading and whatnot.
Yeah, especially if it's crossed to the dollar, because the DXY is just this is a real indicator. This is your real strength indicator, not your RSI, right? This is your real strength indicator. Like if the DXY is going higher and you've got reasons to believe that it's gonna go higher, then you should be looking to short anything cross to the dollar, like Euro, USD, GBP, USD, AUD, USD. Like you shouldn't be looking to. When the steam train's coming, you don't stand in front of the steam train, innit? That's why I say, like, if the dollar's gonna go up, bro, the dollar's gonna go up. You short in 10 lots, 50, bro. I've shorted some big lots in my time, yeah, and I'm telling you, I don't move the market, bro.
Yeah.
Not our lots don't move. It's not the lots moving the market. If the market is in a buy profile, bro, no matter if everyone together is selling that, it's not gonna do anything, bro.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. Like people won't understand until they talk properly. And like this is why I would urge people, try find a mentor who understands this, or somebody that's been mentored by ICT and understands the stuff, rather than just there's more to it rather than just profitability, like the way the markets move and stuff. Having a deeper understanding and understanding like the theoretical side of stuff will serve you a lot better than purely learning how to trade. Because if you learn just how to trade, and let's say you learn today and you just bang it out for 2 months, you learn in very specific market conditions. If you don't understand where these market conditions come from, why this is happening, again, you're mentioning the market profiles, that sort of stuff. If you don't understand the theory behind all these things and, the higher time frame, then in the future, you're not going to be able to adapt. And trading is a game of adaptation, like you're saying.
Exactly. Like, okay, so this is a good example, yeah. The commentaries that I do, the weekly ones, yeah?
Yeah.
Everyone, because remember the one that I gave for the free Telegram, remember I had the buy side, the buy side targets were clearly met, and the high was taken out, and now everyone in the in our group was saying, "Oh, I want to see the next weekly commentary," because it's true. We were in a bullish DXY. It was easy for me to call those things. But
Yeah,
then remember what I said, where the retracement could expect to. Remember a specific price range, and I
yeah,
said
yeah.
that then we can trade down here and then expect it to move higher, and then it's done exactly that. Because the thing is, right, some people and a lot of people, bro, they just made money in a bull run. You could have bought anywhere, yeah. If you just had
Mhm.
enough money to not get liquidated, then you're calm. You're gonna make money in a bull run. But it's when the market, yeah, starts to go from one range to another range, and it starts to actually, you have to be nimble. That's where the people struggle, bro, and that's where people get found out. Trust me,
Yeah.
that's where the people get found out, bro.
Definitely. It's true, and it's happened to me as well. Like before, especially with crypto and stuff, trading in a bull market versus trading in a choppy or bear market is so different. Like it's crazy. But in reality, if you understand what's actually happening with the technical analysis, even a bit of fundamentals, it might be more difficult to an extent when market conditions change, but you'll still be able to change and adapt to them if necessary. So, you got to learn it. A lot of people want shortcuts. You need to learn stuff properly. Like just take your time with it. And you know what's crazy? Like you were saying, a lot of guys in the space would hear 2 years and just think like what the fuck, like that's long. But in reality, it's not long because those 2 years will set you up for the rest of your life. If you learn how to trade inside out, if you learn how price works here, and you can transfer that from market to market, and just kind of follow the wave of money. That's a life skill. That's gonna serve you better than probably any degree or any course you can do out there. Like it's crazy.
Bro,
You know,
take it from me, bro. I'll go to you. So you probably all know if you watch my free content and it's kind of out there in the world. And I'll go to King's College and because those
mm,
tabs, bro, they have not been deleted for like since I joined that
yeah,
uni. The tabs are still there. And I do accounting and finance. So in the finance modules, bro, we do look at things like financial markets and like derivatives and bonds and stuff like that specifically, bro. Even then, yeah, I promise you, you cannot take because it's retail knowledge in it that they teach you in universities. Like they just teach you they don't teach you how to trade. They teach you more like investment type things and a long term like managing risk and like how treasury bonds are like the safest investment, those type of things. Yeah.
yeah,
But even I'll be real, even safe like knowledge like that, yeah. Everyone knows about risk on, risk off, and
yeah.
yeah,
I'm assuming they do, but yeah,
yeah. So risk on, risk off, yeah. When the large funded people of like risk off, they're not wanting to be risky, bro. They're gonna put their money in safe havens, like
mm,
bonds, treasury bonds, and things like that. When you start to see the money flow out of treasury bonds and safe haven assets, yeah,
yeah,
that's when you have to look for the market. Which market are they going into? Right?
yeah,
And bro, remember smart money, bro. Everyone's forgetting about one market, bro. I don't know how everyone's forgetting, but are you forgetting about Pfizer? Are you forgetting about the farmers?
yeah,
Do you
yeah,
know
yeah,
how much percentage? I had a boy, yeah, and he was involved in that farmer run, and he was raking it in,
yeah,
raking it in. He was going from farmer to startup to SPAC to SPAC to SPAC, and he was killing it because literally COVID, yeah, served those farmers like if general farming means pharmaceutical stocks. That's
yeah,
just a
yeah,
short name for it, yeah. And obviously, because it's to do with medicine and this whole vaccine, there's the whole race for the vaccine type thing, bro. These pharma, like especially Pfizer, was going through. I think Pfizer done like 200%.
yeah. That's crazy.
Imagine being involved in that 200%. That's nuts. I don't think there was even a drop before the move up. I think it was just one move up.
Mm. And another thing is like once you have this information, you have this knowledge, you understand, how the markets work. It just becomes like logical. Like you said, if you see money come out of the treasury bond and the safe haven things, you, it is a bit of guesswork and stuff. But what's the probability that the money's going to flow into something like crypto, which is essentially our future, versus like other assets and stuff? I'd expect a lot of money to be going into crypto, especially if we've bottomed out. That's when I think the big players will be likely to get involved by the bottoms because they're essentially controlling all of this. They've manipulated this. So they're pushing prices down, in my opinion. They're coming down. And eventually, at one point or another, they're going to be buying in and getting in near enough the actual
Bro,
bottom.
smart money, bro. They hedge every position that they do. So every
Yeah,
single
yeah,
low, you see every single low, yeah. They're
mm,
buying a small portion. They're buying up a small portion of it, right?
yeah,
they're buying up a small portion of it and they're buying up a small portion of it so that when they come back up for it, and bro, these guys, right, smart money, they don't need stop losses, bro. Their pockets are so
Yeah.
deep, their risk is so managed. They know, yeah, where, do you know what I'm saying? They know their risk, they know what they're risking. They don't need to use stop losses. Their pockets go so deep, bro, they can be in drawdown for years. These
Mm.
big players, they can be in drawdown for years, bro. You think they haven't hedged? You think the richest, like elite people, they haven't hedged positions for like, I don't know, 20 years?
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like their pockets go deep. They don't need to do that because they know once it comes back up their way, all those hedge positions, bro, like it's nuts. Imagine that you're trading it and you put 0.5 lots at one high and it goes down, then another short-term high, put another 0.5 lots and you keep doing that. You're going to be
Yeah.
up like what, 10 lots by the end of the trade, yeah? And that trade, that compound on that trade is ridiculous.
Yeah. Especially if they're using crazy amounts of money. So,
Yeah, they're using like, if you're saying lot size, it's probably thousands, bro.
yeah, that's crazy. I remember getting that reminds me of, we were speaking about this. People need to like sometimes see it to believe it. You can't get guys to like jump on this trading thing sometimes. Like some people won't take that risk. They need to see the money. And I remember for me, the game changer kind of was when I was at IM Academy. Like they didn't give me nothing, but the one thing they did kind of teach me is to believe. Because if it wasn't for them introducing me to all of this stuff, I wouldn't have been there now. I would have probably wouldn't have got into it. Would have thought it's a scam, like the average person does. And I remember they showed a screenshot of like how banks trade or something like that. And now I don't even know if it's true, but it was just a
Oh
meta
yeah,
trader
I've
with
seen that. And it's got like loads of lots and stuff in it.
yeah, like crazy lot sizes and crazy money. And then I realized like of course now I'm looking back, that might not even been a bank or something. I don't even know if banks use
Bro,
MetaTrader
you think the bank is using flipping MetaTrader 4, bro?
yeah, because
Oh
now
my
thinking about it,
days,
it's like no chance, and they're using it as marketing and whatnot. But it just made me realize like there's so much money in this space. If
bro,
I
there's
make
6.6 trillion, yeah,
yeah,
that is traded every single day on that forex market, yeah. Imagine you just like the way I said to myself, yeah, I was like, imagine just getting like 0.001% of that market.
yeah, crazy man.
It's mad, bro. There's enough money to go around for everyone. And the thing is, yeah, about seeing is believing, bro. Like I jumped on this thing with like 3 other friends, yeah.
Yeah,
And I was the only one that really stayed on. There's another friend as well, and he kind of stayed on. I think he's still trading, but not as heavy in it.
yeah,
And bro, like no one, yeah, no. And the thing is, yeah, don't come into trading and tell people about it. Don't tell people how much. Don't like, okay, cool. Don't show people how much you're making unless it's like people are asking if you're really making money, or if it's like
yeah.
you want to start a service and people want to know if you're actually making money. It depends on the intention of it. But the thing is, bro, your own mom and dad, they're not gonna be advocates for you trading. No one is gonna believe it. Don't take that hard, bro, because you have to realize, especially where I come from, bro, people don't believe in this type of shit. They believe, yeah, especially as an Asian, yeah, bro. People like this. I got a cousin that graduated from PPE from Oxford.
Yeah.
Do you know the comparisons that get made, bro?
Yeah,
it's just about get a degree and get married. And for Asian guys, at least, I'm sure they can all like relate in it. It's just get a job, make some money, get married, move out, and you hope the best. Hope the same for your kids. But bro, they haven't seen anyone make it. That they're not aware of these things. So don't like cut them off for that reason. Do you get me? Like you wanna like seeing is believing in it. Show them, show them, and then if they don't want to come on board, that's fine. They don't want to come on board. But the thing is, when you're in your come up, and you're going for it, and if they don't believe in it, that's fine. But if they're still supportive of you, like, oh, how is it going, and they care about it, bro, keep those people close. If the people are mocking you and laughing at you, saying, bro, you're not going to make it, cut them off. By all means, cut them off. But make the distinction between those two groups of people, because you want to keep the people that were supportive close, because it's just a thing, innit? No one wants to be the person that takes the first L, innit?
Yeah, it's true. Nobody wants to take that first risk in it, but some people are just inclined to, like, even me. I've never really. Do you know what it is? Yeah, it's so true. Like seeing really is believing, because for me, it used to be, I don't know, going like somewhere like Central London. You're seeing the craziest cars, houses, like even like before. I didn't know number plates are worth money like that, right? I just
like the short, like the ones with like a letter and one character.
Something like that. I thought like, oh, like these guys are just cool. And then when I found out, I'm thinking these men are like, and the thing is, the average person, or even like let's say our parents and stuff, they'll look at them and either think, it's inherited wealth or that person just got
Anything
lucky.
but hard work, innit?
Yeah, literally. But then it just made me realize that if there's so many people with this stuff, there's a way, there's some sort of method and now, like, of course, after years, I realized it's not even just one way. There's so many ways to go get it.
You know what I say, bro? There's a million ways to make £1 million, innit? Bro,
yeah.
the guy the chair that I'm sitting on, if you're sitting on a chair, there's probably a guy that made £1 million standing in those chairs. The monitors we're using, bro, there's a guy that made $1 million off that. Bro, even like safety pins, bro, there's probably a guy that makes safety pins. He's probably $1 million in that sellotape. Bro, there's you can make money off anything, man.
Yeah, literally. It's just about hard work, innit? Like, a lot of people do come in, just look for the quickest way or kind of like, just get in with whatever the hype is now. But in reality, even let's say stuff like dropshipping, FBA, right? That's kind of like a big thing, but it requires genuine effort. Like, if you have a lot of capital to start with, you're going to find it a lot easier because you can afford to provide a better service from the jump. But it's like them sort of things. You need to invest your time in building them, and I just don't see enough of that with people nowadays. That a lot of them are just lazy and
even like people that ask me to join the group here.
Yeah.
Like, the one thing I always do, I ask them, like, have you gone through the free stuff? And they're like, no. Like, I just try to build like you only want, and this goes for anyone that's in the premium. You don't want people that are gonna always be like after money. Like, there's so many guys, bro. They ask me, how much can I make if I join your thingy? I'm just like, bro, it's not. I don't offer signals, bro. And they just air my message. If they're not about giving commitment, bro, I don't want to deal with you. No hard feelings. I don't want to deal with you because the thing is, and one thing that's good in our space, and I'll be real, one good thing in our space, bro, no one really sells this thing as a get rich quick thing that I've seen, at least, in it. Everyone kind of says the thing about like it takes time to learn, and that's good. Like, that slowly the get rich quick thing from trading is starting to get removed. But one thing that's a problem now is the extortionate prices, innit? Yeah. So it's just one problem to another problem, innit?
Yeah, it's jarring, man. But it's just a cycle of life sort of thing, isn't it? Because people are always going to try to profit at the expense of others. It's kind of like it's a dog eat dog world. So what's your opinion on profit showing, though? Like, should people do it? You know what it is, I don't think you need to do it unprovoked. Like, if you want to, if you're that sort of person, you don't care about, even like them things there, fuck it, do it. Like, show everyone you make money. But don't do it to sell people dreams. Show you make money because, you just want to show that this stuff is real, but don't do it like purely because you're trying to sell a service sort of thing either, because, showing that you made, let's say 10K, but that 10K was 1% for you. How's that reasonable? You're going to suck in people. And if somebody's got a £200 account, they're making £2 the same way you made 10K. Like, they're just going to be there like, what the fuck? But then
again, with the percentage, what about if my man was risking 0.2%? So that's actually 5R.
Yeah, that's true. That, you know what it is? It's so like contextual and subjective. But to me, what it is, if you run a service, and I probably plan to into the future one day, and I'm going to make sure when I get to that stage, there's certain things that I've done. There's a certain record that I have for a certain amount of time. And like, if I have people working with me, I'm going to have the same requirements for them. Because if you're doing something, you have to show that you're really about it. And again, like I said, there's no need to like show your profits unprovoked. But if somebody's signing up and they're paying you and they're making that commitment and then they ask you, then why not? Like, you're in my eyes, you're obliged to show. Like, you should be showing. I think you said you can fake like so many things here, but I think broker statements or withdrawal statements or whatever, you can't fake those. And that's not something that's hard to grab. Literally, all you got to do is log on. You can even take a picture or just like download it as a PDF, whatever, just show it. Like, it's not necessarily. If you're not,
so it's sad to say, if you're not funded, that means that you trade a personal account. It's one of the two. There's no in between in it. Yeah. It's you're funded or you trade your own personal account. Yeah. So let's say you trade your own personal account, bro. Every broker, they'll send you a daily confirmation of your everything. Yeah. And they'll send you a monthly statement as well. Every broker does this. Don't tell me there's not one broker that don't do this. Now, if you're funded, it's even better. Just go on your funded dashboard, go on notifications, and just show the notifications because it's all there, mate. All the breaches are there. All the profit payouts are there. If you're getting profit payouts from Deal, if you're on MFF, bro, just go on the Deal account and it's all there.
Yeah. And if you're a solo trader, cool. Like, you don't have to prove yourself to no one. If you're not bothering no one, you don't.
No. You don't have to. If it's a thing where if you're charging a certain price tag, Because the thing is, you're charging a certain price tag, yeah. So you're kind of saying that you're offering, you got better value or you're better than other people, right? But the thing is, yeah, how can you be charging? Let's say you're charging, I don't know, like a couple £100, yeah.
Yeah.
How can you charge a couple £100? Like? Do you even make a couple £100 a trade?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know
Someone,
how people do that.
yeah, I wouldn't put like a specific percentage on it, but it's kind of like, your monthly subscriptions that you have if you run a service shouldn't make up the bulk of what you earn in that given time period. If you run a subscription service and, well, it's subjective, right? Because if you just purely do signals, you can essentially have unlimited people because, like you're not really teaching, you don't need to do anything. But if you run a like mentorship and stuff, I just feel like it's not right. And people will have different angles. Again, there's that angle of people value their time at different amounts and stuff, which is understandable. As long as it's working and your students are becoming profitable, fair enough if they're making it back. But again, it is just angles and understanding, the people that are joining and what sort of positions they might be in versus the position that you're in. I feel like it's not a thing where people on purpose are doing that. I think some people just literally just don't know. They don't consider it. But now, hopefully, putting it out there in this podcast and even previous episodes, and I'll keep saying it in the future. And
like don't get me wrong, yeah. Don't get me wrong. Like, I don't think, I swear to God, yeah, just put this out there. I don't think nothing of myself, yeah. You don't need to validate yourself by showing what I want to see. But I'm not saying it for validation. It doesn't validate you at all, bro. I don't care about how people are. If you're a good person outside of the charts, that's all I care about. Really and truly, if you're a prick, yeah, then I just don't rate you. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Innit? Now, when it comes to like showing profit and loss, yeah, it's just a thing about how honest you are. Like, are you really making money?
Yeah.
Should people that want to make money put their money into you if you're not making money? Like, do you want to learn boxing from a guy that can't box? Do you want to learn how to swim from a guy that can't swim? Do you want to learn how to imagine your driving instructor can't drive, bro? Do you see the thing? Why is trading any different?
Yeah, it's true, man.
And the people, yeah, and the premium owners, yeah. If you're a solo trader, by all means, yeah, this doesn't reply to you. But if you're a premium and you're thinking, I don't need to show profits, whatever, bro. Like, it's the shoe fits, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? There's a reasons why you'll stutter it. There's reasons why you'll dodge it. Like, let's be real. A lot of times, yeah, when you're asked for something and you're dodging it, bro, there's only one reason. It's because you're deflecting it because you either don't want to answer it or the truth is just going to be against you, innit?
Yeah, like, and do you know another thing is, yeah, like, I don't even know the whole situation. I don't even know the draw out thing, but I don't know if it was you or somebody in our mentorship group chat asked somebody for proof they make money. My man sent back a picture of a Rolex. Right?
Bro, that's made it. That's a special addition to the documentary, innit?
Bro, like, to me, where it is right, cool. Like, I understand what my man's trying to do. He feels disrespected. Like, you know what it is, yeah? It's hard. You got to see angles from both sides, right? He's probably thinking, bro, I'm a sick trader.
But
yeah?
I swear to God, bro, there's no angle for that signal provider. There is no angle for him, bro.
Because do you know what? It's so easy to get statements like you said. You get emailed every month.
It's harder to show the Rolex than to show the profit statement.
Yeah, literally. Like,
and how do you know that Rolex? What money did he buy the Rolex with? Is that his Rolex? Like, come on, man. Even with broker statements, bro, if they're not showing the name on it, don't take it, bro. It could be anyone's. I can tell my boy that's profitable. Send me your broker statement, and I can show it.
Man. And on top of that, like, yeah, literally, man, you could have got that picture of Google or something. I'm not saying you did. I'm not saying that's not your Rolex. Like, that person, I don't even know who it is, but if that person is listening by any chance, but it's just the thing where if you're running a service and guys want to see that you make money, why not? Like you literally just said, you gave that 10 examples. If you're signing up to learn something from someone, you want to know that they really know their shit, right? Like, bro, imagine your driving instructor can't drive. Like,
bro, that's crazy. Because the thing is, yeah, it's like this. If your driving instructor can't drive and you're losing the shit on the steering wheel, they can't jump in to save you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, likewise, yeah, if you're trading and you're a student of a guy and you're trying to trade live funds now and you're having a bit of a hard time psychologically, whatever, and this guy doesn't trade live funds, he's a demo baller. How can he help you out psychologically? He can't.
Because he's not been through it.
Because he's not been through it, exactly.
It's done, man. But we're gonna see more of that on your documentary soon, hopefully. You've been putting
Yeah.
it out there. That Signal Swindler documentary, man, bro.
There's 4 episodes as of now. There's 4 episodes made.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just do like a weekly review now. So every single Friday, I'm gonna do it. And by the way, yeah, the documentary is not me like targeting people. It's literally I've said who do you lot want to see it on. Some people, like majority of people, said one name, so I've done that one name. And I promise you, when you watch it, there's no cuts in it, right? Because I don't want
Yeah,
to just
yeah,
pinpoint the bad stuff, right? There's no cuts in it, and I say some stuff that are good, and I promise you, yeah, it's literally more just constructive criticism. Because what I want, yeah, and what I want for people, right? Because bro, I'll be real, it sounds so gay, not gay, but moist, yeah, bro.
yeah,
It's like I love trading, and I love it,
yeah,
bro. I
yeah,
love everything about it. So, and I want it to be like a thing where, bro, any people can pick up trading, innit? Like anyone
yeah,
can
yeah,
come and they should be able to learn from people that are actually learned, innit? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
That's why if everyone's open that they make money, whatever, bro, the community would be so much better. I promise you, bro.
Yeah,
Because it's just a
100%.
thing where everyone is honest and everyone can get along, and there's do you know what I'm saying? Like it's just so much
Yeah.
better.
And do you know what, AJ? We literally spoke about this in my group chat the other day. There's two things I want to say. First of all, people might see what you're doing as hating and whatever. This is a service to people. It is literally a free service to people to live see what happens in group chats as if you're a noob or you're new. Like you guys are going to see, of course, I know some things that are coming up in the documentary that, eventually everybody else will see as well. And on top of that, people kind of say that I think like, oh, you got too much time and stuff. I know Omar's trading. Bro can take like one trade a week and just call it a week.
Should I tell you something? Yeah,
Mm,
I was done trading for May on the 30th of April.
yeah,
Alhamdulillah, I was done.
yeah,
Like the thing is, yeah, and I say this, and I can be that guy, and I've showed the group. I can be that guy that's trading most sessions, most
yeah,
days. I've showed it. I think I showed the dashboard one time to you guys, right?
yeah, yeah,
In
yeah,
one of the videos, I showed the dashboard to you guys, and there's no way I can have it. But I think the certificate, everything was showing. Everything was there. Even stuff that you guys shouldn't have seen was there. Yeah.
yeah,
The thing is, I just aim. My philosophy's changed. I just need 1 or 2 good trades, yeah, a week, and I'm done.
yeah,
I just need 1 good trading week within the month, and you're done. And the thing is, yeah, everyone should. As you start to trade more, and you start to develop, you'll start to see that that's the way to do it, man. I
yeah,
promise you that, in my opinion, that's the way to do it.
yeah,
And if you think I got too much time on my hands, bro, you know what? I do have loads of time on my hands. I'll be real. I got loads of time on
yeah,
my
yeah.
hands.
And that's not a bad thing.
That's not a bad thing.
And if you're using it to you are helping people, and they're not going to see it at first. A lot of people won't, and there's going to be backlash and hate and whatever. But eventually, it will just make sense when this thing becomes a standard. And you tweeted this, you're going to set the bar. When that bar's been set, people realize that this should have been there all along. This idea of showing proof and requiring those type of things. So that's going
And
to be
you know what it is, bro? I know for a fact, yeah. Well, I think that a lot of people, they kind of like dislike me in the scene, and the people that don't know me, the people that haven't spoke to me, yeah, they might just see me as like a dickhead, innit? And cool, that's fine. You can see me as that, but you won't ever really know me, yeah, until you spoke to me, and you won't know what I have to offer unless you've seen my free content. Forget about the mentorship. I swear to God, don't worry. There's barely any spaces. I'm not going to shill it. There's barely any. There's a few spaces only, but go through the free content, yeah, and see my style that I teach. See the way I teach. If you think that I'm just a bullshitter, right? I have I have live trades there. I even dropped some. I think there's even a free mentorship video and a weekly commentary.
yeah,
See the weekly commentary. Those weekly commentaries are made before price happens. They're made on the weekend. Price doesn't move on the weekend on the forex market. Watch the weekly commentary and then see how the next week printed. Yeah, and then judge me. You can judge me then, yeah. But if you guys hate me, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. And the signal swindler thing, the guy that is made on, he will probably hate me. But the thing is, if he can actually see it as this, you know what, I can do things better.
Yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
that's
And
how you should see it.
Yeah, in the
saying.
long run, it's better for everyone. So it's true, man. But yeah, this has been my longest podcast episode so far by quite a bit. But it's been an interesting talk, man. And it's not easy to talk to everyone for this long, non-stop. And we could probably go on for a few more hours if we wanted.
Yeah, 100%, bro.
But just to wrap it up, last thing I want to ask you: one piece of advice you could give to everyone you think that everyone around us in the space needs to hear, what would it be?
one piece of advice, yeah, in the space
Yeah,
for people trying to learn to trade, or just everyone?
just anything, literally. Like, what to you? Like, what's important? What do you think? I guess that anyone needs.
One thing, yeah, I'll tell people, because I don't think people do this enough, yeah.
Mm,
Plan your life, yeah, as far as you can. Day to day, you should have a plan. Week to week, you
mm,
should have a plan, and goals as well. Do you know why? Yeah, because if you don't have a plan, or you don't have no set goals, yeah, I'm talking set goals for like the month, set
yeah,
goals for like 6 months, set goals for the year and 5 years. Like I'm going to say in years ahead, because then you'll have nothing to work towards, and it's so important to have something to work towards. Yeah, and I'll be real. Be a materialistic person to an extent. Like, look at a car that you want. Look at a certain or watch that you want. Look at something that you're wanting. Yeah, and bro, just do things that will get you to it. Because the thing is, yeah, people come in here and they're all over the place because some people are just too short-term minded. When you start planning
mm,
ahead and you start to see, yeah, like if you do 1%, imagine doing 1% a day for a year.
yeah,
That's you don't understand the compound, bro. If you get a compound, type in, yeah. If you're
yeah. Let
watching
me
this,
get it.
type in forex compound calculator. Start with £1,000, yeah. Or you know what? Start with 100K. Let's say you get 100K funding, yeah. Start with 100K. Do 2% a week and see how much it compounds you after a year. You'll be surprised.
Yeah, it's crazy still. Calculations are mad, but
The
yeah, I
calculator,
agree.
bro. I think it's over 500 bags.
Yeah, yeah, it should be. But yeah, I agree with all of that. But it's been a pleasure having you on here, bro. I knew this episode was going to be interesting and
Nah, it's been a
entertaining.
pleasure to be on here, man. Good,
Yeah,
especially the conspiracies, innit? That's my forte, man.
yeah, yeah. Probably my favorite episode so far. So it's been great, man. But
Appreciate it.
I hope everyone learned a lot from that episode, taking a lot away. I'm going to see you guys very soon in the next episode next week. See you later, bro. Go on.
Yeah, take
Love.
care, man. See you guys later as well, man. Take care of yourselves.